Just leave my phone on silent until my alarm goes off in the morning. That sounds good to me. All right. What's up, Twitch?
Twitch is up.
You guys are up first. Come on, YouTube. Where you at?
Lagging behind as usual.
Come on, YouTube. You're thinking about it. Come on, YouTube. Don't toy with me. I know I'm broadcasting. Hey, there we are. What's up, everyone?
Are we going to check for sound lag again?
I did a recording I didn't shut down this machine. We should be good. Why do you have to bring that up?
Because it happens every
time. Every flipping time.
I just want to be on top of it.
Doesn't matter how many checks I do. Someone will
say, "Hey,
something will go wrong."
There's a sound delay, guys.
Yep. Again, I am giving YouTube the exact codec that they request for live streaming at the exact right bitrate, at all of the recommended settings, and for some reason they always dice it up and feed it out two separate ways, and so I've got to change the encoding, and
Yeah.
just ticks me off. Welcome to the show, everyone. Talking Heads, episode 60.
660.
The big 6-0.
Yeah, if this was years, we're almost ready to retire.
That's right. Darn, I was 2 episodes away from retirement.
Getting too old for this.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Steve.
Welcome to the show, everyone. What are you guys drinking out in Chatland? Let me know. Always curious to see what beverages you guys are bringing. Steve, we've got a couple, well, pretty much all imports, although this one's...
That one's local, but
local,
two of them is from our Discord super fan.
Yep.
He's from Norway.
Known as Claw.
I think he's actually he did say that he's going to stay up and watch.
He said he was going to stay up and watch.
I don't
So
know
Claw,
if
if you're out
Discord.
there in Chatland, let us know.
Yeah, that might not be, but we got ass.
Not only ass, we got a fat ol' ass.
We got fat ol' ass.
That's right.
Now I actually did look up how to really pronounce it.
Yes.
And it's aus.
Aus. Yes.
Yes, it's aus.
Yes.
It's fat ol' aus.
Yes. But the running joke is
it's ass.
Grab a can of ass.
Yeah, grab a can of ass.
Go open a can of ass.
We're gonna open up a can of whoop ass.
That's right.
Or fat old ass.
So we've got some good old fat old Norwegian ass.
Yeah.
We've got some Norwegian Noisum.
Noisum.
Yep. Birdie Num Num. It's an IPA. Now the interesting thing about Norway is I'd give you specs. I'll give you the IBUs. This one's got 150 or 100. This one has 55 IBU, but it's 4.7%. And this one is 4.7%.
Yep.
It's because of the liquor laws that are over there are pretty darn strict as far as what you can buy at retail.
Yeah.
You can go to a specialty shop and you can buy some bigger beers, but they're heavily taxed and they're very expensive. But in resale stores, the max you can buy is 4.7. So pretty much every beer there is 4.7%.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had some before. Me and John did one where he's going to have a episode on his YouTube channel.
Yep.
And they're okay. They taste all right. I mean, they're just, not very high alcohol. That's all.
So we got a lager and an IPA.
Yeah.
So, which one do you want to start with? I guess
we're gonna start with ass.
Start with the ass.
We're gonna start with ass.
Guys.
Everybody wants to see us drink some ass.
All right. I've even got some. We'll do some old Spaghetti Factory glasses.
Oh, okay.
Just for the fun of it.
I thought you're gonna have some ass-shaped glasses.
That's right. Yeah. Good old Italian glasses with some fat old ass.
It'll give you a fat old ass if you drink enough of it.
All right.
I think this one it's a lager.
Yes.
This one is just a lager. So I expect it probably tastes like, your typical foreign lagers.
Yep. Very carbonated.
Yeah. Nice color. Just like a lager color.
Yeah. Because I'm not pouring aggressively, and that fat old ass has a big old head on it.
Like they usually do.
That's right.
Yeah.
How's that fat old ass smell?
Rank. Actually,
the jokes are not going to stop in this episode. I warn you now.
Actually, noisome in English means very stinky.
Very stinky?
Yes, it means very stinky.
Great. So we've got stinky and fat old ass.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. YouTube is lagging by almost 30 seconds, they say. That's what...
As compared to Twitch?
As compared to Twitch, or...
Hold on.
Actually,
The jokes are not going to stop in this episode. No, they're...
The sound's okay.
Yeah, the sound's okay.
Maybe the difference between Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube always lags behind by a good 30 to 45 seconds. Yeah. Twitch is a much lower latency stream.
Yeah.
So, all right. We're going to do a toast some fat old ass.
All right.
Cheers, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Definitely a lager.
Yeah, it's a lager. It's kind of refreshing.
Yep. It's
It doesn't have like... I know some lagers kind of have that weird skunky aftertaste.
Yeah, there's no...
not too much here. It's
what we
sweet.
get with a lot of the domestics around here, the Budweiser, the Miller, the Coors and whatnot, is that like burnt ricey aftertaste that just kind of lingers and sticks with you. Mm-hmm. This is actually nice and crisp.
Yeah.
Surprisingly crisp.
It's actually almost thirst quenching.
Yes.
It's like I'm thirsty.
Kind of like a Sprite, I would say. Mm-hmm. Obviously a very different flavor profile, but that's what the mouthfeel is. It's very much like...
It's like a soda. The mouthfeel is it's not thick.
Sprite, Sierra Mist, 7-Up. It's kind of that citrusy, effervescent.
No, it's not bad. I mean, that's what we'd call a lawnmower beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Like after a hot day, drink some of this. It'd be pretty good.
Absolutely. What's funny is... it doesn't linger at all. Mm-hmm. Like, it's got a decent flavor to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of lagers, but this has a decent flavor. But as soon as you swallow it, it's gone. There's just nothing left of it.
Yeah.
And the joke is, here in Oregon, we drink a lot of really big beers.
Very big. Very hoppy.
Yeah.
Hoppy beer.
Like my beers usually start at 8%, and they'll end usually 14, 15. Yeah. On occasion, 18.
With an 18% beer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We get some heavy meads and things like that. And so this really is like drinking water or soda for us.
This is...
But it's good. I do like it. I do like this fat old ass.
Yeah, it's good fat old ass.
Fat old ass has some good flavor to it. All right. Let's see. Lagers get skunky when they are stale from being chilled, warmed, and chilled again, in my experience. And they can, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's...
Amazingly enough, this was shipped to us from Norway. Mm-hmm. So it has been warmed up and cooled down and warmed up and cooled down and pressurized and depressurized because it was probably on a plane.
Yep.
There ain't no skunk in this.
No. There's like most lagers, they do kind of skunky.
Yeah.
But maybe we just got a fresh, because we got it freshly shipped directly to us from Norway. It no skunkiness.
Yeah, that's definitely not bad.
Yeah.
We're going to finish that one really quick, I imagine.
We are going to finish that one pretty quick. And we'll get to some birdie num-nums here.
Because it drinks so easy. Anyway, let's get to some beer news. For those of you who are new to the show, by the way, 6,500 subscribers in the last 28 days. Can't be wrong.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So, yeah, kind of a banner couple of weeks for the channel. Not my best, but definitely among the best. If you're new to the channel, what we do is we generally do about 20 minutes of beer news. We'll open beers throughout the show. The next hour to hour and 20 minutes is typically tech talk or game talk. Yep. And then we usually try to wrap up with about 20 minutes of Q&A or just BSing or
BS.
Star Trek.
whatever comes up.
Whatever the conversation devolves into.
Yeah.
And really, we keep the show fast and loose. It's whatever we feel like talking about.
Yeah.
We try to keep the chat involved as well. If you'd like us to give you a shout out, drop a donation in the super chat. We will certainly give you a bit of a shout out. Eric Del Toro, $5, right on schedule for my drive home. Thanks for joining us, Eric. One of my longtime patrons on there. And Heavy Palms, cheers. 4460 i5, can't do 144 hertz. Finally, upgrade time. Yeah, 4 threads is going to be your limiting factor for a lot of lot of high refresh games at this point. So... yeah, maybe a good old 9700K, 9900K, or go with Ryzen. Get a heavily multi-threaded. Although wait for Zen 2, and we'll get into that. Moving on to some beer news. So Corona is doing something kind of interesting.
A little different.
Yeah, you grew up in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
But we probably both remember the commercials about don't throw your plastic rings away.
Yes.
Because you're going to kill all the sea turtles.
Yeah, cut it up so that, the turtles who think it's, a fashion statement to wear them underwater.
Exactly.
Then they die.
Yep. Yeah, the gruesome pictures of the fish on the beach with like them hanging out half out their mouth and things like that. Yeah, they didn't sugarcoat it when we were kids.
No.
We got the dead fish flopping on top of the water with the plastic ring around its neck. Corona is shipping some of the first plastic-free rings. These are basically like a cardboard material, biodegradable ring for keeping cans.
Now, they really should have had it made out of nachos.
There you go.
Like tortilla nachos. Because not only will they get the beer, but they'll also have a snack.
Quite honestly, it's cheap beer. If Corona was going to make tortillas, I'd imagine it would taste like that.
Probably. I mean, it wouldn't be. They just have to put a little cornmeal mixed with the cardboard.
That's right.
And it's going to be like a Corona chip.
That's right.
And,
You know what? Do a 5-pack with 1 can of salsa.
Yeah. You got a little salsa. Or just get a little Tapatio bottle on the side you can sprinkle.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
A little hot sauce.
A little hot sauce there.
On the end.
Yeah.
That would totally work.
I don't know why I don't work for marketing for Corona. It's like gold right there.
That's right. It wouldn't cost them much extra.
No. Actually, it might be cheaper.
Well, it's Corona.
Looking for ways to cut costs.
Mm-hmm.
Any way they can.
So anyway, very cool.
Yeah,
Because
cool.
I always appreciate companies looking for more inventive ways to be a little bit more bio-friendly in ways that make sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can go too far trying to be too eco-friendly. I know that's kind of a bad position to take on some things, but you always have to consider cost. And are you going to pay $9 for a Corona 6-pack because it comes with plastic rings versus...
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So it has to make economic sense as well for a company as large as Corona, Miller Coors, etc. to ship something. If they can do it and it's bio-friendly, more power to them.
Although I don't get Corona too much in cans anyway. In fact, I always get it in the bottle. All the places I see, they serve it in bottles.
Well, yeah, because I need to drop the lime in there.
Yes, you need to drop the lime. I mean, it's no fun trying to squeeze a lime into the little hole at the top
Of the can,
yeah,
cut your
that's
finger.
No fun. Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah.
The bottle is the best.
Yeah. Well, you have to filter it through the lime as you're drinking.
Yes,
you need to
exactly.
wedge it in the neck.
Yeah, exactly.
So, otherwise, I won't touch them. I don't care how hot it is
The
outside.
only way to drink a Corona is with a lime in it.
Yes.
It's the only way to make it tolerable.
Yes. All right. What else we got? I agree with John. The second one, I read through it. That was bored out of my mind.
Oh.
So I think we're going to skip that one. Go right to resilience.
Okay.
So I talked about this one on the show last week in my first and only solo show of Talking Heads.
That's
right. Which, by the way, was the most watched show of Talking Heads in over the last 6 months.
Yeah, I know. Because I had all my computers at home tuned into it.
Yeah, you had your Russian botnet
Yeah,
signed
my
in.
Russian botnet signed in.
So for those who didn't watch last week, you're probably aware of the wildfires that ravaged a lot of Malibu and then Northern California in 2 different fires, some of the most deadly fires in California history. Sierra Nevada is in Chico County, California, and while their brewery itself wasn't damaged in any way,
They did have to evacuate.
they did have to evacuate, and there's a town of 27,000 nearby that was literally wiped off the map.
Yeah.
It's gone. The town no longer exists, and a lot of the Sierra Nevada employees live in that town. So while the company itself was fine, a lot of their employees are displaced, homeless, etc. Sierra Nevada decided to step up to the plate and do something, and what they're doing is really, really unique, inventive, creative.
Yeah.
They are doing what they do best. They're brewing a beer. But they're not just brewing a beer. They're brewing what they're calling Resilience Butte County Proud IPA, or Resilience IPA. And 100% of the proceeds go directly to relief efforts.
Yeah.
100%. They're not going, a portion of the profits. They're not profiting off of this.
Yeah.
They're donating their time, effort, energy, distribution network, etc. to brew a product, to ship, to sell, and then 100% of the money is going back to relief efforts. So the literal definition of donation.
Yeah.
That they're not taking any cuts from this. So they started by saying, we're going to release Resilience IPA, and we're going to sell it, and 100% goes back to relief effort. And if any breweries want to sign on
There we go.
to be...
For some reason, it just wasn't showing.
Oh, wow, the colors are all off on the
Yeah,
screen.
I know. So I highlighted this thing. I
I wonder if I can... Oh, yeah, my colors are... There we go.
There we go.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
What is up with my...
Wow.
Wow.
Look a little wash there.
Yeah, my... There we go.
There we go.
Hey, now we can read it. Yeah, for some reason my capture settings were all off. All right, that's better.
There we go.
Anyway, they said, for any brewery that wants to join in and help us, we would appreciate you guys selling at 100% donation as well. So, and we'll share you the recipe. And in fact, we're going to try to get some malt and hop distributors on board to donate some reserves for you, some raw materials for you. And if you can use your networks and distribute it and sell it and then donate the money back, we would greatly appreciate it. Well, that turned out to work gangbusters.
Oh yeah. If we scroll down,
so Steve, I'm not gonna. I mentioned last week that 400 breweries had signed on. This is the map as it appears today.
Yeah.
There are 1,200 breweries that have signed on to brew Resilience IPA and donate 100% of the proceeds back to Chico for relief efforts. Absolutely astonishing effort by these breweries.
Apparently, while I was looking through some of these breweries, there's homebrewers doing it too.
Yeah, there's a couple homebrewers on board.
Homebrewers are doing it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to sell it, but
there's some big names on this list as well.
There's some big names. I mean,
in fact, we know one of the brewers, Saw, down in Salem, is brewing.
Yeah, Saw. A lot of them up in, that's Albany.
The heck with them.
Albany. There's
Portland. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Stickman, and then there was I've been at Shovel. I actually haven't been there. There's Stickman.
Yep.
Grain Reaper, which I don't know.
But Miller Coors is signed on board.
Hair of the Dog, Fire in the Mountain.
Blue Moon is signed on board.
Yeah.
I want to say Stone had signed on board.
Let's go look.
They're in San Diego.
Yeah.
That looks like Rogue.
Rogue is signed on. Wolf Tree.
Yep.
Let's go down to...
So a lot of Oregon breweries, a lot of... and in fact, one of the hop distributors is Crosby Hops.
Yes.
Here in Woodburn, Oregon.
Woodburn,
right around the corner from us. They have signed on to be one of the hop providers. So... amazing effort and an amazing response by these breweries.
I'm not too sure where Stone is. Half Door. They're around here somewhere. There's so many breweries in San Diego doing it.
I thought I'd seen Stone, but maybe not.
They could totally well be. I mean, modern times is right.
And hey, Claus, hey, I'm up. This is so early for me. Well, Claw, we're drinking your fat old ass right now.
We're drinking your fat old ass, yep.
So, anyway, again, amazing effort by not only Sierra Nevada, but the 1,200 individual breweries that have stepped up, donated time, materials, resources, distribution networks, for relief efforts to start rebuilding this community. So very, very cool to see. And as I said in last week's show, I'm the first to be critical of companies when they make mistakes. I'm also the first to give out praise when it is well due, and certainly well due by Sierra Nevada.
On Sierra Nevada, yeah.
Yes,
and also getting all those other breweries to come on too.
Yeah,
that's gonna bring in a lot of money.
Yeah. So John and I were thinking about we're brainstorming ideas on how we can do a video on Resilience IPA. Mm-hmm. We wanted to get Resilience that was made by different breweries and then taste a different try to do taste test of.
We have plenty of them in the area. We can go down to Saw. You can go down to John doesn't work too far from Stickman. He can get that.
Yep. I was almost picturing like a road trip video.
Oh yeah, go out and
like literally jump in the Z car,
yeah,
and then just do a loop. So go down Salem, go over to Newport, go up to Astoria, over to Portland, and back down. Yeah. Just make it a 1-day trip, and literally just stop by every brewery and pick up a 6-pack at every brewery.
Just try to get some.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really, really fun trip.
That'd be fun.
So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments of the video, not the chat, but the comments, so I can read it later. What would you guys think about a video like that? Because it'd certainly be an effort to get it done, and I'd need to coordinate with the breweries to make sure that they had a 6-pack available when I came to pick it up. But I think it'd be a fun video to do, and then a fun comparison, so we could do like sampler trays, and also me donate money essentially back to it. I'd pay for the 6-packs gladly out of pocket, and then drink Resilience for 3 months straight. Because there'd be like a dozen or more breweries.
What if we hated it?
And it may be a terrible IPA. We don't know yet. Great, now you put that thought in my head.
Oh, man, I'm not going to drink it now.
But there'd be more than a dozen breweries that we'd be doing in that loop.
Yeah.
To do that. But I think that'd be a fun video to do. So let me know what you guys think. Maybe we'll make a video of that.
Do it.
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, do it.
One person said it, so that we have to do it now.
Oh, yeah. Well, he donated $2. So.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, that's right.
That's enough. That's enough to push us over the edge.
That's right. Yeah. So, regardless of what you guys say, I'm seriously thinking about doing it because I think it'd just be a fun video to do. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of it.
Yeah.
Today, also a momentous day in beer and alcohol in general culture in America.
Just liver destroying culture altogether. It's a great day for you history buffs.
Oh, beautiful for space. Today is December 5th. On this date, back in 1933, 85 years ago, we abolished Prohibition.
That's right.
Yep.
About time.
Today is the day that you could go out and drink.
I remember.
Freely.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
No, not that old.
Back when you were a young boy of only 12.
I was only 18 at the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that before or after you lost your arm in the combine?
I had just gotten back from the war, World War I.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and a couple years
30,
after that.
33.
Yeah.
Did you troll around the Mediterranean for 14 years?
I was a prisoner of war.
Okay. Do a beer drinking contest on a newly built computer. One thing I'll never do on this channel is abuse alcohol. One thing I really try to pride myself on doing is drinking alcohol responsibly. Now, sometimes on the show, we'll get a little bit buzzed, but it's on like 3 or 4 beers over the course of 2 hours. I don't consider that abusing because the rest of the week, I might have 2 beers the rest of the week.
These are 4.7%.
Yeah.
You're going to have to drink a lot of this.
I got to drink a lot of these to catch up. But,
Yeah.
So, like I said, on the show, you might see us towards the end of like a 3-hour show. Maybe we're a little bit buzzed, but we're still like okay to drive.
Yeah.
Well, we really haven't crossed that line. Well, me and you did once.
Yeah.
That was a bad show.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll never go to like drinking contests or take a shot when I say this because that's encouraging alcohol abuse, and that's something I don't stand for. So, what I enjoy doing on the show is sharing the things that I enjoy with you guys. Is sharing the beers that I get to drink and the liquor that I get to drink and the cocktails that I make and sharing the computers that I build and the networks that I work on. It's about sharing what I like with you guys in a responsible way.
Yeah.
So it sounds fun, but
Yeah.
all right. On to some tech news. So this is going to be a little bit more of a rapid fire for a couple because we've got
A lot.
some smaller stories that kind of bear exploring, but they're like 5-minute shots.
They're not. Yeah. They're not
Yeah.
too in depth.
Yeah. So starting with an interesting story about Samsung and their OLED screens. Sorry.
There you go.
We're okay. We're okay. Wrong button. This is not about Samsung doing anything wrong. This is about a Samsung supplier doing something wrong. So, South Korea has indicted a group, including a CEO and 8 executive officers from the supplier Top Tech Co. Limited for selling information earlier this year about Samsung's OLED panels.
Right.
This is a supplier and manufacturer for components that Samsung uses in their OLED panels. And they sold industry secrets to Chinese manufacturers on how Samsung built these screens and whatnot. The group are accused of forming a separate. All of a sudden
There's Sean Connery.
All of a sudden we're in subreddit. The group is accused of forming a separate shell company that received information on the use of equipment and drawings of panels obtained from Samsung's subsidiary Samsung Display, which sold some of the documents in China for 15.5 billion won or $13.85 million. So this was not like...
It's a lot of cheddar.
Yeah, that's a lot of... that's a lot of money. And $13.85 million, that's a lot of trade secrets.
Yeah, I know. Well, did this include tech for their new bendy screen that they're making?
It may have.
Yeah.
All they've said in here is OLED panels.
Right.
But I'm assuming at this point people know how to make OLED screens.
Yes.
There's other manufacturers that are developing OLED panels.
That's what made me think about this because that's such a new thing that Samsung has.
Right. My guess is this was on foldable displays.
Yeah.
Especially for the price that it sold at. Because, like I said, OLEDs have been on the market for
a long time.
In small form factors for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
In large form factors for only 2 or 3. but bendable displays are the things that's next on the horizon. So
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what it was.
yeah, shares of Top Tech tumbled 20% on news of this indictment.
Yeah.
A Samsung display spokesman said the indictment was regrettable and that the firm would increase efforts to protect their technology. Prosecutors said Samsung Display invested 150 billion won over 6 years to develop the leaked technology of 3D lamination, which is part of their bendable screens.
Yep.
So yeah. Samsung dominates the market for small and mid-sized OLED displays and is a supplier for Apple Inc. So
even Apple has a touch of Samsung to it.
Yeah.
A little Samsung flavoring in it. Well, I mean, I guess that when those bendable screens come out next year, there's going to be a Chinese knockoff pretty soon after.
There may be.
Yeah.
And remember, intellectual property rights in China are, I have the property in my hands, therefore I have the right
to do whatever I want.
And that's the standing of the Chinese government as well. So now that the technology's out there, this may lead to a lot of counterfeit displays being manufactured in China using Samsung IP. And that's going to lead to a lot of lawsuits, a lot of seizures at U.S. Customs in the future for this kind of tech.
Not like the shaking, but like... You know.
Right.
That's like...
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. So the tech has been sold illegitimately. But because of where it was sold, this is not an issue that's going to go away because Samsung is throwing the book at these guys. This is a problem that is going to persist for Samsung for probably the next decade. Now that the technology secrets are out there. So, yeah. If you work in manufacturing, protect your trade secrets and keep an eye on your suppliers.
Yeah, corporate espionage, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money.
Yep. Moving on to Intel news. So we know that Intel, with their tick-tock cycle back when they were capable of producing a tick-tock cycle, and they were beating AMD in every way, shape, and form. They like to change the socket on the motherboard willy-nilly. And what it was they would come out with a new process, and then they'd shrink the process.
Yeah.
And then they'd change the socket and refine the process. And so you got what was that? Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge.
Yes.
So Sandy Bridge was a process. Then they shrunk the process to go to Ivy Bridge.
Yeah.
Then with what was it? Haswell. They shrunk it. I'm trying to remember my 4000 and 5000 series. I always confuse those.
Yeah.
Anyway, they changed the socket when they went to the 4000 series, and then they shrunk it again when they went to 5000. That was our last die shrink. Then they went to 6000, where they kind of refined it, and then they said, well, we're not doing that anymore, because who needs to shrink the process? You know,
they probably could.
We think, we know now that they couldn't.
Yeah.
But they go, we're just done with this TikTok thing. We're just going to do our own thing. We're calling this 14 nanometer plus. So we're going to take Skylake, and we're going to not shrink it, but refine it even further and be even better. And to be fair, the 7700K was great. When the 8000 series, when Coffee Lake came out, they changed the socket again. And the industry cried bull. Because it's essentially the same chips that were shipping with Skylake. With their 6000 series. There's been nothing refined. There's been no process change. There's been no die shrinkage. You're doing the exact same layout. You're just raising the clock speed 200 megahertz and charging us an extra $50. And for people who want to upgrade to that new chip, now you're making them buy another motherboard, which you also license.
Yep. Of course. Big surprise, right?
Right. So, yeah. The whole, you need a new motherboard for Coffee Lake, that was always met with a little skepticism. Well, almost immediately, people got Intel i3 8100s and 8350Ks working on Z170 motherboards, just with a little BIOS tweak. Now, Intel's defense was, oh no, we changed the pin layout. There's like a pin that requires something different. And oh no, these new chips require more power, so the power delivery is different.
Yeah.
It's completely the same, guys. Let's be real.
It's that third line through their teeth.
Changing a high to a ground or a ground to a high doesn't change the core architecture of this chip.
No.
Nor does it change the architecture of your socket layout. And the socket is electrically the same. You have the same, or physically the same.
Same socket. Yeah.
So a BIOS change could have made these work. You just chose not to. Well, then a couple months later, they got the 8700K working on a Z170 board. And people went, aha, 6-core is possible.
Yep. And
we knew it was possible because Xeon's on is what's essentially a beefed up Skylake chipset. If you talk about the E5 2600 V4 series processors of Xeon's, we know those work. We know those are 6, 8, 12, 18 core chips. Well, now some industrious hackers have got the 9900K working on a Z170 motherboard at 5.5 gigahertz.
Yep.
So Intel, your BS claims of, it requires more power.
Yeah.
You're full of crap, and you wanted to license more motherboards.
Yep.
It was a cash grab, and you freaking knew it.
How they thought they would get away with something like that, knowing the community out there and how fast like this travels. I don't know how they thought that would be.
Right. Well, and your pin layouts are community. They're common. They're not difficult to find. You can find a pin layout for an 1151 socket.
Yep.
And yeah, the socket layout changed from 1151 Skylake version to Coffee Lake version, but it didn't change dramatically. Like I said, they changed a couple grounds to a couple highs, and they have like a new VCC header, and they've got a couple. It
wasn't a big change.
And they've got a couple GPIO ports that weren't present on the previous one. Yeah. That's it. That's all they did. And they're not critical areas of the CPU. So, yeah, Intel, you're lying through your teeth. You got caught. And this is further proof of why we need competition in the market and why AMD coming up from the ashes with Zen and what we hope is going to be a really good Zen 2 release.
We hope it's going to be good.
God, I hope it's good. Is why this is so badly needed.
Oh, yeah.
Because
people are getting tired of this.
We've been paying for this kind of crap, and Intel's still trying to charge the same prices for this stuff right now.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd continue because I wanted to take a drink.
Oh.
you said yeah, and I went, okay, it's a break.
How nasty Intel is. Yeah. No, I was agreeing. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything more.
So hopefully this will lead to... Well, this won't lead to anything.
This won't lead to anything. It's just going to lead to more people being, disillusioned by Intel, looking for a replacement, and then AMD coming in there to swoop them up. I think there's been a noticeable uptick in a lot of AMD sales.
Yes. A lot of retail places. There's a couple German retailers, which are usually pretty good indicators for the market for overall CPU sales based on like earnings reports that Intel and AMD give at the end of their quarters. There's a couple retailers in particular that really show what those market trends are in just their sales numbers. I guess back in May or June of this year, AMD sales passed Intel sales for the first time since 2011.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 2010. It's been a long time.
For a quarter or for a year?
For the quarter.
For the quarter, okay.
And that trend continued. And in fact, now it's like 70-30 AMD Intel. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Now, Intel is still making their earnings.
Right.
But they're not shipping as many products.
Yeah, they're losing market share.
Right. And they're still making their shipments because they're selling a lot of Xeon processors still. And like I've said before many times on this channel, the server market is where it's at.
Yeah.
The server market is bread and butter. The consumer market, while it's a good chunk, you need to capitalize on the server market. You need to be competitive there. And quite honestly, that's where AMD has been focusing most of their energy is in EPYC.
Yeah.
Zen is just a happy little afterthought. Costly. But EPYC's CPUs are looking very incredible and very enticing for the money. And they're not coming with any of the limitations that Intel CPUs have. They don't have the PCI Express lane limitation. Oh, sorry, you wanted to put 3 cards in your machine instead of 2? Nope. Sorry, you got to spend another $3,000 on a processor. That's a BS limitation, and it's because Intel had the monopoly in the market. What are you going to do? I have a use case where I need 3 16x PCIe slots. I guess I have to get that Intel.
Got to get that other expansion
exactly.
slot, yep.
Whereas every single EPYC CPU has 64 PCIe lanes. And in fact, Zen 2 has 128 PCIe lanes on every EPIC chip. So yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
They're going, whatever you want to throw at it.
Throw it at it. It'll handle it.
The base level EPIC chip for like, what is it, $900 has 128 PCIe lanes.
Yeah, no problem. You're not gonna run out of those.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully at CES we're going to hear some announcements. I'm sure we're going to hear some announcements.
That's coming up soon too. It's like 2 months.
I leave exactly 30 days from today.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. My plane departs on January 5th. So it's on the way. I don't yet have a meeting with AMD. I'm trying to get one scheduled. I'm a little ticked off at CES, the organization, because a couple years ago they had a bunch of YouTubers show up and do absolutely nothing. Like, hey, we're in Vegas, that's all they did.
That's all they did, yeah.
They partied on the show floor and they did a bunch of stuff, and they said, screw it, YouTubers, you have to have 1 million subscribers if you want to show up. And it's like, I get good metrics and I get good viewership, and I have viewers who watch for news, and I'm going to do a live show from CES this year. Are
they kind of giving you the cold shoulder?
I get no media pass. I don't get a media pass.
So you got to go it onto your own.
So I have to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube to get a media pass. But if I have a blog in which I get 5,000 hits per month, I get a media pass. 5,000 hits.
Off a blog?
Off a blog.
I think the metric off of YouTube would be better.
My last video in 3 days has 36,000 views with 6.5 minutes of viewership per unique click. So tell me who's getting more viewership.
I think that's kind of
it's BS.
Backwards.
And I did protest. I sent a very respectful but dissenting opinion email saying, I protest to this. You're punishing me based on my media of choice.
Yeah.
And you can look at a YouTube channel and tell if they're a serious journalist or not. I'm trying to be a serious journalist. I have metrics that show I'm a good journalist, that I do have audience retention, that I'm not just a clickbaiter. And they said, we'll take it under consideration. I'll forward it up the chain, and nothing will happen. And nothing will ever happen.
Nothing happen. Yeah.
So what we're going to do next year is we're going to start a blog, and I need 5,000 people a month to visit it.
We'll just do
seriously,
every live show you say, hey, you guys just go on here.
What I'm thinking about you guys doing,
take a click.
What I'm thinking about doing is asking you three to just write about games and literally just catalog what you're gaming for that day, and write up like Blitz reviews.
Yeah.
And see if we can get 5,000 hits a month.
I played a game for 5 minutes, then I let it idle for 2 hours so it dropped cards.
That's right.
That's what I did.
Yep. But yeah, if you guys could literally write like 2 paragraphs on hey, I played this game, we can get into CES.
$20.
$20, Eric Del Toro. I just sold an X299 and an i7 7900X for $1,400-ish. Had to explain to him that if he waited a month for Zen 2 chips, he'd have a hell of a much better system at under half the price. He said this was much better. Then I laughed. Just post your videos with a transcription under it. I used to write up pretty lengthy transcriptions under my videos. I don't necessarily do that anymore because only about a third of my videos are scripted anymore. I used to script every single one of my videos. Now it's down to about 1 in every 3. So I don't necessarily have transcripts for every single one of my videos anymore. But I am looking to branch out into doing some other types of content. Or maybe some expansion pieces on videos that I've done. I don't necessarily have time.
Half tech, half cooking show?
Right.
Something like that?
Right. So I don't necessarily have time to do the write-ups, so I am actually going to ask you guys to do some of that.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
I used to do a game review site.
Right, exactly.
With my friend.
And I know Red does blogging and podcasts and kind of stuff, so I figured literally if we can drop like an article a week, we could probably get 5,000
Is a Reddit thread considered a blog?
I don't believe it is. It has to be a domain that you own, which I do own, craftcomputing.net. And I did start trying to build the website into something, but I gave up a long time ago. It's literally Blogger. It's a Blogger template that I just threw up there. And what I would do is I wrote up my long video synopsis, and I posted the video with the synopsis underneath it, and that was my blog.
Yeah.
I think the first 5 episodes are up there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
did you get 5,000 hits on it?
And then I'm like, this is too much work, and I'm getting like 6 hits a week.
Oh, a day.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
Just need to run Dragon Dictation.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
At Fry's, not secondhand. Couldn't ever justify buying such an expensive system. Yeah. And again, it depends on what he needs it for. some people like buying the X299 system because, honestly, they are good systems still. But again, because there's no competition at that level outside of Threadripper, but there's no competition at Threadripper with that level of single-threaded performance. So Intel still does make sense, even at the higher price point in some circumstances, especially if he doesn't want to wait 3 months. So, and honestly, if he's buying a 7900X, he's probably in the market for a Threadripper 3 system, which is not going to be out till August. So take it all with a grain of salt. Okay, nVidia did something very anti-nVidia-like.
I know, this was weird.
Yeah, I had to read it like 3 times and make sure I wasn't on the onion. So nVidia has open-sourced PhysX.
Yeah. Which, I mean, wasn't theirs. They had acquired PhysX.
Right, they acquired PhysX from Aegis.
Agea.
Yeah. I was confused with that name. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they bought Agea back in 2000.
I was going to say 2007? 6 or 7?
I was thinking it was 4 or 5, but yeah, somewhere mid 2000s, we'll say. They bought PhysX from Agea, and it's been pretty deeply integrated into the hardware of NVIDIA ever since. Basically, when they came out with CUDA.
It's almost transparent at this point.
I mean, yes, it is. And in fact, it's not that AMD can't do it. It's that AMD doesn't have the APIs or the SDKs to know how to interpret physics commands that are given by a game. So if your game is physics accelerated, which not a lot of them are anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
There were a couple back in the day. But it really didn't make a lot of sense because half the market share was AMD, and so some programmers went, we want to do these really cool physics effects. Well, you have to have an NVIDIA card to use that API. Oh, screw it then. Yeah. So NVIDIA, kind of realizing that failing, they just open sourced it.
Yeah. Like anybody can use it now.
Right. Anyone can use it. You can download the API, you can download the SDK, you can use it. AMD can integrate it into their hardware now because it's open source. I think that's a really cool thing. And very not NVIDIA-like
for them.
Yeah.
I wonder if they finally hit the mark where they're like, okay, we're making a little black on this.
Right.
We didn't lose our hat after so many years of acquiring this company. We finally made money off of it. So let's just go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So kind of like Oculus. I mean, Oculus always said they were going to open source everything they've done. They open sourced the entire DK1.
Yeah.
The development kit 1. They haven't. Did they open source DK2? I don't remember.
I haven't heard that they did.
Because that was the one with positional tracking. I don't know that they did. I know that their original plan said they were, but that was that was Palmer Luckey days before the Facebook takeover. The Facebook. Let's get another beer.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I'm done with mine.
All right.
Get some Birdie Num Num.
Yeah, Birdie Num Num. Nice.
Nice and Birdie Num Num.
Nice and Birdie Num Num.
Now, I like the name of this beer, because it's from a movie. Do you know which movie it's from?
I do not.
It's from a Peter Sellers movie called The Party.
I have not heard of that.
You've never heard of it before?
No.
Oh, surprised. Yeah, there's a line in there where he goes, Birdie Num Nums. And that's...
Nice. All right. Where is my bottle? He's one of my keychain.
Plot twist, Voodoo comes back and beats a 2080 Ti, yeah. Borderlands. I think the Batman Arkham Knight series, at least maybe the first one, had PhysX in it too, I think.
Yeah, I think it might have. I think Red Faction Guerrilla was physics accelerated.
Could be. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, there's a lot of...
Yeah.
When you're knocking down the buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it still worked on AMD cards, but it had enhanced physics.
Yeah.
There we go.
It smells good.
It's an IPA.
Yeah, it smells delicious.
It's a hop I don't recognize. No, that's Citra.
Is it Citra?
Smell it.
Man, what an even pour you got there.
That was pretty good.
Oh. I don't know. Smells good.
Yeah.
Feels a little weak tasting though. It's a little
Yeah. Very hoppy, but it's hoppy all the way through.
Yeah. Not too much malt.
Yeah.
Not very malt forward, just hop forward.
Yeah. With a lot of and this is I don't want to call it a hazy, but
it is pretty
but it's
hazy.
not clear.
Yeah, it's not clear.
It's definitely not a New England style. It's not a milkshake IPA or anything like that. But it's definitely not a Northwest clear IPA.
No.
There's usually a development of the flavor as it goes through. And with IPAs, you usually start pretty grassy, a little bit bitter. Yeah. There's usually some citrus nose on it. And like I said, I think those are Citra hops.
It smells very citrusy.
Yeah.
It smells wonderful. It just, I don't like the taste.
It's falling a little flat.
It's very flat.
Yeah.
It's all hop, no malt. Mm-hmm. And the mouthfeel is very thin, like water.
Yeah.
It's not great.
It's weird where the, again, with the IPA, it starts grassy and bitter and kind of punchy. Mm-hmm. And then it evolves into like this fruity kind of thing, and IPAs tend to be a little bit thicker. And this, where the flavor should be evolving in my mouth, it's just going hollow.
It's going away. Yeah,
it's going hollow.
It's there and it's gone.
Where I still taste the hops like at the top of my mouth, but the flavor goes away.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely a little weird. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's just not.
I'll drink it.
I mean,
yeah.
We've just had so many good IPAs here.
We are the land of IPAs.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I poo-poo all over East Coast IPAs too. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had so many of them, and I think they're just weak sauce. But, so maybe I'm a little on the.
Well, we are a little biased.
Yeah, we're a little biased. A little biased on this. Yeah, so we're going to send Klaus. We are going to send Klaus some proper IPAs.
Klaus says he doesn't like the Birdie Num Num either.
Oh, he doesn't? Well, thanks for sending it.
Thanks, Klaus.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Secretly, he just sent all the crap that he never drinks. It's just like, you guys can have it.
Should send Klaus some proper IPAs. We are going to send him some proper IPAs.
Yeah, we're going to send him some proper IPAs.
Yep. Havoc kind of killed PhysX. Oh, it was Havoc that was in Red Faction.
Oh, Havoc.
The
Havoc engine.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Because there's been a number of different PhysX engines that have come around, or PhysX SDKs that have come around. Havoc was one, and I've completely forgotten about Havoc. There's also Euphoria, which is in the Force Unleashed games. It was debuted in the Force Unleashed games.
Right. No, I think it debuted in the Force Unleashed 2.
It debuted in Force Unleashed 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it debuted in Force Unleashed 1. There's also a popular series of games that uses it. GTA.
Really?
GTA 4, GTA 5, and the Red Dead games all use Euphoria.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's the Euphoria PhysX engine.
Yeah.
Very recognizable. The ragdoll effects are very, very visible, and you can tell a lot of times in the GTA and the Red Dead games from the bullet impacts, because the bullet impact on the person will actually have an effect on where you shoot them.
Localized. Yeah.
Right, they're very localized. If you shoot them in the gun will fly out of their hand, and when objects hit another object, they have natural-looking reactions, and it's very easy to spot a Euphoria PhysX game. Have I tried the Founders All Day IPA? I've had Founders All Day IPA on this show.
We've had it several times.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good stuff. All right. Wait till next week for the good stouts. Yeah, by the way, I've got a care package coming from Skull.
Oh, he's going to send you some good stouts?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I saw at least 3 Goose Island caps in there.
Is it the Bourbon County?
I don't know, but I'm assuming.
I already had one with John.
Yeah.
We did the chocolate orange Bourbon County.
Let me see. Was it in? Or no, it was in 10 forward here. Oops, hold on. Go away. What are you doing? 10 forward. Scroll up a little bit. Got to get through all John's Metallica picks. Here we go. Right there.
Oh, that one. Okay, I did see this one. I didn't look at it too closely. I could probably. It looks like there's some homebrew in there too, almost.
Well, there's some gold caps.
Yeah, those gold caps look like they might be homebrews. I don't see the Goose Island.
They're on the right, top right.
Top right.
You'll see it.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
That's hard to say because they have all the Bourbon County have that label on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's 2 Goose Islands in there.
There's 3.
Oh, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep.
So
nice.
Looks like some good stuff in there.
Yeah. Yeah, Founders is good. KBS from Founders, and CBS from Founders is great.
Yeah. Founders Dirty Bastard. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, this one was really interesting, and I might do a tutorial on this one.
Oh yeah, this is good.
We knew Valve was discontinuing the SteamLink,
Which was sad.
because the SteamLink's a good box. I have one downstairs.
Yeah, I have one too, and I thought it was a great product.
I don't use it very often, but I have a 55-inch screen downstairs, and I don't want to put a gaming machine there.
Oh no, it's great.
It's fantastic.
I kind of don't want to say this on the live stream, but I kind of use it to play GTA 5 with my son, who's only 2. Not because I'm like, running over hookers or
honestly, with
like
a 2-year-old, you can get away with some stuff.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just driving cars around. And he finds that I'm driving.
When you're driving cars.
When I'm just driving cars around, he thinks it's really cool.
See, I have a 5-year-old, and when I'm playing, like I've been binging on Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
She's not even in the room. The door's closed. Because I don't know what's going to happen. Because I've had the Murphy boys run around the corner and just start. Whoa!
Yeah.
That was out of the blue.
No, I turned the sound
and I did
down.
run into the naked wolf man as well, with his junk flapping around in the middle of hill country.
That's what PhysX was invented for.
Again, very easy to tell Euphoria's engine there. Whew. Yeah, that had some natural reactions to it.
Yeah.
How do we get on that? Anyway, so we all knew Valve was discontinuing the SteamLink, which, sad. But they released a beta version of a Raspberry Pi app where you can run SteamLink on a Raspberry Pi 3 or 3 Plus.
Yeah. So you basically build your own SteamLink.
Build your own SteamLink for $35.
Yeah.
Plus the cost of an SD card.
Which is basically what they charge the SteamLink box for.
Right, exactly. So for the price of a SteamLink box, you can have a SteamLink box and build your own. So I might be doing a tutorial on this. I am looking into doing... A lot of people ask me, when am I going to re-explore SteamOS? Because I mentioned SteamOS on this... one of my most popular videos, it's over 500,000 views.
Yeah.
Is what is SteamOS in 2018? And I posted that video in March, and or April of this year, or something like that. And I was very critical of SteamOS, but I kind of gave the original vision and what it turned into. And a week after I posted that video, because it got popular like right away, Steam actually pulled the the SteamOS link off of their main page.
Yeah, you can't even get it anymore.
Right. Well, you can, but they hid it, and then they updated it, and then they posted a new link and said, "Hey, we updated it." So I don't know.
You got to do an updated version of it now.
Right. So I don't know if I had any impact on them going, "Oh crap, we need to."
Well, weren't they gonna try to do some kind of wine integration into it so that it's gonna run more Windows?
And they've done that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that wasn't the update that they posted then, but literally a week after I posted that video, they pulled all references from Steam off their website, and they also pulled the Steam machine purchase links off of Steam.
Yeah, I remember when they pulled those.
And that was... My video had like 100,000 views in the first week, and it was like an immediate reaction to my video, I'm assuming.
They're paying attention to you.
Because I was the only one talking about it, and I was critical of what they were doing. I said I got the original message of what they were trying to do, but it didn't develop. Yeah. And I said, you can still go download it if you want. They didn't pull the download links, but they pulled all news-related stuff to it. Then a week later, they posted a new update with a new kernel. So I know they were working on that. Yeah. It's not like they just wrapped a new kernel inside of a week.
Maybe they did.
Let's be real.
You just don't know what they do on a day-to-day basis at Valve. They probably sit around and just like, eat snacks. And
they're on Half-Life 7.
Yeah, they're just going to release it whenever.
Right.
As soon as the Half-Life 3 memes stop.
Yeah,
is when they're gonna release Half-Life 3.
Right.
So that means we're never gonna see Half-Life 3 because the memes are
never gonna stop. But anyway, I wasn't gonna look at that version because it's like, oh, it's a kernel update. Big whoop. You have new driver support. You have better EFI tie-in. Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't change the verdict of this video.
Right.
In October, they announced Proton, which is basically wine integration, which they're calling Steam Play. And they're tying wine and other compatibility wrappers into Steam to play Windows games on SteamOS or Steam for Linux more properly. Yeah. I was immediately intrigued, but the reason I haven't done a video is I wanted that to mature. I wanted to see what it turned into, what the community was able to do with it, if any hacks were out there, and then give it a thorough evaluation, not just a... Hey, look, you can play GTA on Steam now, and it sucks. Don't do it. End of video. I didn't want to do that because I really... the goal of my videos is to give viewers enough information for you to make your own decision. I'll give you a recommendation, but I want you to have the information so you can judge for yourself. And 1 week after the release of a brand new feature that's very, very much in beta is not proper evaluation time for me, let alone for the information that I can give you.
Right.
So that video is coming. It's on the back burner. It'll show up when I feel comfortable releasing it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, in the meantime, I might do a tutorial on how to build a Raspberry Pi SteamLink.
Yeah.
So, because I think it'd be a fun little thing to do.
Yeah, and it'd be kind of interesting to see how well it works and compare it, because you do have a SteamLink.
Yeah.
Be able to compare it.
Yeah, I can compare it to the old one, and I've got a Raspberry Pi 3 Plus. So, this is the story that made me chuckle the most.
Oh yeah.
So now we're getting into the two larger stories. So, what do you use Edge for?
To download Chrome.
Right. Well, apparently Microsoft is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So Microsoft Edge is dead. Long live Microsoft Edge, but with Chromium.
Yeah, Chromium Edge.
So Microsoft, now this is all rumor and speculation, but from some pretty high up sources, it's a done deal. Is Microsoft Edge is officially dead. Officially, unofficially.
Yeah.
Is officially, unofficially dead. And not only are they going to stop development on that, they're not going back to Internet Explorer either. They're literally just wrapping up Chromium into a prettier shell. Or into a Microsoft-based shell. Or tying in their own features with a Chromium browser base.
Yep.
So that means your Chrome extensions will pass over from one browser to the other. That means all of your core API is functionally the same. That means this will probably have some Microsoft services tied in with it. So maybe OneDrive support or Office 365 or native apps built for Chromium, but built into whatever Microsoft decides to brand the browser as.
Same rendering engine
too. Yeah, so that means, number one, better compatibility with Office 365 inside of Chrome, because now it's their native browser.
Right.
So if you're a user who uses that, that's actually a pretty important point.
I've actually never had any problems with Chrome and Office 365.
Yeah, and neither have I either.
Yeah.
But whenever you develop for your own native API, you're always a step ahead. You're always doing better. Chrome, they make changes to Drive, and they always work inside of Chrome first, and then they'll work in Firefox, and then they'll work in IE.
Yeah.
If there's any problems down the line,
right.
that they'll fix it first here, and then they'll kind of fix it down the line over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's buggy. If you're developing for your own native API or your own supported API, you're more than likely to get support.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one just made me laugh so hard though, because as hard as
they gave up on Edge so quickly.
Well, no, they didn't even give up quickly, because remember it came out with Windows 8.1.
Did it come out with 8.1? I thought it was.
Maybe it was 1603.
Yeah, I think it was. No, I think it was like first when it came out with 10. Maybe it was. Maybe
yeah, I thought it was 8.1.
Maybe it was in the late in the Windows 8 cycle.
Yeah, because Windows 8 came out and it was just Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
But I thought with Windows 8.1 it came with Edge. But I could be mistaken.
I thought I remember first saying
it's been
Windows
4
10.
years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But I mean, just 4 years, and it's already
right.
I mean, they kept IE alive
way
longer than it needed to be.
Well, the problem was they broke compatibility with a lot of native web features inside of Edge.
Yeah.
And yes, websites have caught up. They're now compatible with Edge. They're whatever else. But at the beginning, there was a lot of broken features.
Their rendering engine still wasn't that great.
No,
it
wasn't.
Still so many inconsistencies.
Yeah. It's like, we're 28% faster than Chrome in this one Java processing task.
Yeah, I know.
But beyond that, Chrome and Firefox just blew them away.
I had moments where Edge just completely ignored CSS scripts and just whatever.
Mm-hmm. But even with their aggressive marketing tactics within Windows 10 itself, which, again, Microsoft, do you remember 2002? Do you remember your whole class action lawsuit where you lost $1.3 billion? Yeah, we're really trying to flirt with that again, weren't you? With the, hey, I see that you downloaded the Chrome installer. Would you rather try Edge first?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Right. With the, hey, we're going to make it the default again.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, when you click to make Chrome the default, we're going to ask you, are you sure? And hide the OK button.
Every once in a while, I still have Windows 10s going, hey, you want to try this browser?
No, what I see is, hey, we noticed an application, a real sketchy one. It's called Chrome.
Yeah.
Decided to change your default browser. We went ahead and changed it back for you because we're looking out for your best interest.
Edge, it's a little safer.
By the way, we also changed your default PDF reader back over to Edge because it's way better than whatever that Adobe PDF shit is.
It still keeps doing that to me.
Yeah.
I still have it happen all the time.
Yep.
I click to open a PDF and then Edge pops up.
Yep.
That pisses me off.
It's like, you're not even the native PDF reader. You know what's a better PDF reader than Edge? Chrome! Yeah. So as sketchy as they're trying to force people to use it has been, number one, I think it only developed more animosity towards it.
Yeah.
But they still failed. That's how bad this browser was. They still failed. And if you consider that 40% of people using computers are the gray-haired population,
that's the default.
That goes, I just click on whatever the internet icon is.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the big E.
Well, I've heard of like lots of people going to their parents' or their grandmother's house, and they'll install Chrome, but then they'll change the icon.
Yeah, to Internet Explorer. Yeah.
So they don't know, and they don't even know the difference. Right.
So... Yeah, so as underhanded as Microsoft tried to be, they still couldn't win. And now, rather than trying to develop their own, they're just going to use open source Chrome, and that is hilarious to me.
They finally just threw in the towel and be like, yep.
All right,
you guys win.
I honestly would have preferred to see them go Firefox, because Firefox is open source as well.
Yeah.
But
I think Chromium is probably still more popular.
I think it is as well. But I think Microsoft getting behind Firefox as a browser... I like Firefox browser more than I like Chrome. I use Chrome day to day because 85% of my life is inside of Google services. And I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah, no, I don't mind too.
I'm a YouTuber. I've got like 9 Google accounts that I have to
I use a lot
track.
of Google services, and it's all integrated into Chrome, so I like that.
So I log in, all my extensions follow me, all my favorites follow me, all of my browser history follows me. So I go, what was that one site that I looked up at work today that I didn't favorite it? Just start typing it and it shows up. And oh, cool. I don't have to think about it anymore. So it just works. But at the same time, I would love to see Microsoft development dollars behind Firefox's open source browser. I would have loved to have seen
sounds like they might ruin it, though.
And they could have.
Yeah.
They could have. Very possible. So did you know AMD is coming out with some new graphics cards? That's
what I heard.
Yeah. We have some of the first, we'll call them unofficial rumors, but these look at least plausible. So we know that AMD Navi graphics cards are on the way. 7 nanometer, probably going to be announced CES or very shortly after. We know that they're going to take the same naming hit at nVidia that they're going to that they've been taking at Intel.
I did notice that. Yeah, they called it.
So we have the AMD RX 3060, 3070, and 3080. Yeah. We're one number better than you. RTX 2070.
We don't need that T in our name. We don't need the T.
We don't need the T, and we don't need the TI to follow it.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Whatever. So we have the Navi-based RX 3080. 3080 is going to be their first introduced card. And for what we're hearing is they're aiming again at NVIDIA mid-tier, but they will have graphics cards shortly thereafter that are going to compete with 2080 Ti level tech. For the moment, they're going to compete with RTX 2070, GTX 1080, which I think if they can get the power consumption down, because
that's the problem with their cards.
That's the problem with the Vega 64 today, is the Vega 64 competes and sometimes bests the 1080. The problem is it does it at 300 watts versus 185.
Such a high
right. It does it at almost double the power consumption. Yeah. What we're hearing is the RX 3080 is going to compete directly with the 1080 and RTX 2070. It's going to only cost $250.
Which is really competitive.
Very competitive. Now, and if you extrapolate that out and you think, okay, well, what's the RX 3070 and 3060 going to cost? Those are also going to be highly competitive for what NVIDIA is charging for their cards.
I think they said it was going to be like, I think the 3060 was going to be like 130.
Yeah, $130.
Yeah, that's
and
ridiculous.
if you take just let's just go apples to apples, 80 versus 70 versus 60. Because you can take 3080 versus 1080, let's say. I think that's a fair apples-to-apples comparison because that's where they're comparing their specs are going to land. If you take 250 versus 500, that's a pretty good comparison.
That's a pretty good, yeah.
If I take an RX 3070 at, let's say, $220, or no, sorry, let's say $180.
Yeah.
Make it more than a $30 difference. Make it a $70 difference. $180. Versus a 1070, which is still at $399 today.
Yeah.
$350 if you can kind of get them on a bargain, but $399, you're undercutting them by half.
Oh, that's you're
again. Yeah. Take the RX 3060 versus the 1060, and the 1063 gig, which is $299, $279.
I think it still is. Yeah.
And you're coming out with a card that's literally like GTX 1050 level pricing, or at the peak GT 1030 pricing.
Yeah.
You're going to have some pretty compelling arguments at the mid. I don't even want to say low tier because GTX 1060 is not low tier. That is solidly middle tier. $130 is what you're going to get GTX 1060 performance for today, or very shortly, brand new.
Yeah.
Brand new at retail. So
hopefully that's going to force NVIDIA's hand and they'll start dropping their prices.
Yeah. And I've been vocal about this before. The RTX series is overpriced, and they are going to have to drop their prices. Very overpriced. The reason they are so overpriced is because they're trying to clear out their old Polaris cards. Or Pascal.
Pascal, not Polaris. Pascal.
No, Polaris is the other one. NVIDIA is trying to clear out all the Pascal cards that we know they had. At least 300,000 overstock. So as soon as that stock runs out, and as soon as AMD is competitive with at least their Pascal level cards, they're going to have to drop their high tier cards because no one is going to pay double the money for the same performance, RTX 2070 versus RX 3080. No one is going to pay $800 for an RTX 2080 when they can get an RX 3080 for $250 and get 80% of the performance.
Well, they are saying it's going to be as fast as the 2070, not the 2080.
Right. But again, 80% of the performance.
80% of the performance.
For a third of the cost.
But no RTX though. But
in theory. Because remember, AMD's cards are better at compute than NVIDIA's cards are when you take away the tensor cores.
Yeah.
With the tensor cores added, I'm sure the edge goes to NVIDIA, but AMD's cards are no slouch when it comes to computation, when it comes to AI performance. And that's baked into every one of AMD's cards. It's part of their core architecture with Polaris and Vega and Navi.
Well, also you're not seeing a huge ray tracing adoption right now, and not much success at all.
I'm sure it will pick up.
Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of things that
when the tech is there to support it.
Okay. Granted that this RTX is probably the most exciting thing that NVIDIA's probably put out, but we were just talking about PhysX. That was never widely adopted.
Right.
Hairworks, never widely adopted. All their specific API stuff, never widely adopted. What makes you think this one's going to be widely adopted?
I think this will be widely adopted because it is a more natural way to process light. Now, the way NVIDIA is doing it is still skirting the rules of what ray tracing is.
No,
they're technically ray tracing, but they're only ray tracing certain aspects, and they're only ray tracing visible within the scene.
Yes.
True ray tracing is 100% ray tracing. There's no rasterization involved.
No.
They're rasterizing and they're ray tracing the visible light on top of it.
Right.
So it's a cool parlor trick at the moment, and it leads to some pretty cool elements within gameplay. But the technology as it sits today still has some massive limitations to it.
I think it's still in its infancy, and I don't think it's going to be...
As we saw in the Metro Exodus demo that we played at PAX.
Yep. And of course, when it finally got released for Battlefield 5, too, it had just horrible performance.
Yes.
Apparently the latest... Was it either the latest driver update or was it the
latest patch for
Battlefield?
5?
Yeah, okay. Was supposed to help it a little bit. But...
Yeah, I guess a lot of people on 2080s are now seeing like 80 to 90 FPS averages. I still don't... There's... The couple sites that release metrics still don't have any low level performance in there. They didn't put any 1% or 0.1% lows or mention any stuttering or test specific levels that we knew were problematic. So the verdict's still out, but on average, we are seeing better performance than we did before.
Yeah, but that was just with one game.
Sorry, I have something in my eye. It's just bugging the hell out of me.
It's probably a tear from just how horrible this beer is.
I've had far better IPAs.
Yes, I have too.
I've had far worse.
I have too.
Yeah. So, is this my favorite beer in the world? No, it's not my favorite.
It's not horrible.
It's certainly drinkable.
Yeah,
If I
it's
bought
not
this at a bar as a $4 IPA,
if it was only $4.
if it was $4, I'd drink this. If I had to pay bar prices, if it was $7, $8,
it better be cheap because I need at least 4 or 5 of them to get a buzz.
Right. Yeah, especially at 4.7%.
Yeah, 4.7%.
If you were serving this as a $3.50 happy hour special, sweet.
Oh yeah, sure,
It's an
no
IPA.
problem. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I drink that.
And so that's kind of where I'm comparing it to.
Yeah.
This is not a Stone IPA. This is not a trying to
like a Tricera hops. Or
Ninkasi. Yeah. This is not
Boneyard or
but
Boneyard is good.
This isn't a Vortex. This isn't. Yeah, this is not the prototypical Northwest IPA that we love here. Mm-hmm. But it's not bad.
No, it's not.
I could drink it.
No, actually, I was debating between this one and there was another one called Cascadia, where they use hops from the Northwest.
Oh, really?
So it would be their interpretation of what our IPAs would taste like.
When you open that, I want to be there.
Okay, all right. I'll save that.
I want to try.
I'll save that one for you. Maybe next time I'm on, I'll bring it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Although you're not on for another month. You're on at the social show.
Yeah. So when we do that one,
yeah. Because Rhett is back in town.
Finally. Being like in Europe for like a year or something.
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Yeah.
He was
there for a long time.
He toured Spain for like 5 weeks.
Yeah. He's going to come back like 15 pounds heavier.
Yeah. Now, he's still not back on the show for another 2 weeks, but you're going to see a lot more of him very soon because he'll be on in 2 weeks. Then we have Christmas. And then we have our social show where everyone's going to be on, January 2nd. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Rhett is going to Vegas with me.
To CES?
To CES.
Oh, cool. That'd be fun.
So Rhett is going to be on a lot of the videos from CES, either filming or present in the videos. And we're also doing a Talking Heads live from Vegas on January 8th.
Nice. Live from Vegas.
Yep, Talking Heads live from Vegas.
Cool.
Probably from our hotel room, or if we can swing it some restaurant nearby.
Yeah.
If it's warm enough, hell, might even do it outside.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
It's always warm. Well, I don't know about February. But.
We are actually. Last time I was there, it was last year. We had a couple of days where it was like 82, and it was just beautiful. Where
in Vegas, or are you talking
in Vegas?
Okay, yeah.
In Vegas. It was absolutely beautiful. And then we had a couple days that reminded me of Oregon, where it was torrential downpour. Like they got half of their rain for the year in 2 days.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it was Vegas.
So that's how typically. I mean, they have flooding problems sometimes because it just rains.
Yeah, their drainage system can't cope with it.
Yeah.
Here we're gonna get 6 inches of rain in the next 2 weeks. We won't even feel it.
Yeah, we won't even
feel it. But I was looking up rainfall numbers for Vegas. They get like 7 inches a year. We get like 12 inches in December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they had torrential downpour, and at one point there was like 2 feet of water on the strip. Mm-hmm. So we're wading through water, walking around wet shoes and everything because you got to get to your next meeting. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. 7nm Navi, definitely a video card to keep your eye on, especially if the rumored price points are accurate.
Gonna be true.
So. Very excited there. Let me finish this real quick, and then we'll get into some gaming news.
Okay.
So, have anything you want to say on the great canvas shortage of 2018?
I know canvas is too expensive.
Yeah.
I know that.
No, the materials weren't available.
I tried getting myself a full canvas suit. It's too much money.
Too much money. Just couldn't afford it. Couldn't afford that $13.95.
Yeah, canvas was just too much.
I will say last year, in preparation for CES, I bought myself a canvas messenger camera bag.
Yeah.
Because I wanted something that was a messenger style bag that I could keep my camera in, that I could run and gun and drop. And at the time I had a much smaller camera rig, so it kind of worked for me. But that canvas messenger bag, brand new on Amazon, cost me $13.
$13?
And it's a nice bag, and it had the camera inserts and pull and pluck foam, and it was a nice bag. $13. So when Bethesda comes out and says, sorry, the materials were too expensive, or we couldn't afford it, or
we know that's a
you are so full of crap.
So full of crap. Yep.
Because in mass, in production,
Mm-hmm.
You're talking the difference between $1.50 and $3 at cost.
And there's not that many people. Okay, well, we can talk about it later. We can talk about it later.
Let me finish this beer. Eric Totoro, $5. What day is the social stream? That is January 2nd, day after New Year's.
Yep.
Not New Year's Day, but January 2nd.
Yeah.
That Wednesday.
After all the hangovers are gone.
No.
Or about.
You'll probably still be hungover.
You'll still be a little hungover, yeah.
So for the last 10 years or so, I bartend for our New Year's party for our family.
Yeah.
We do karaoke, we do trivia, and we do...
we do the karaoke too.
Yeah, we do all that kind of stuff. But I set up a full bar. And we usually try to do it theme-based. So we'll have some food around it, and then I'll develop cocktails for the theme. Either popular or Prohibition era, or I'll develop a cocktail for the night.
Yeah.
And I'll have a full menu of 12 or 18 cocktails that you can order. And I bartend all night long.
You like Kool-Aid? You like vodka? I got a drink for you.
That's right. Let me tell you, son. Yeah. But of course, the whole night, because I'm just bartending in our in-laws' house, I'm drinking cocktails along with them. So they get a little stronger.
That tastes good. Let me have a sip of that. I want to make sure
they get a little stronger throughout the night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, by the end of the night, I'm bartending loose.
Yeah.
So.
You're like,
Yeah, that's the one night a year I really just kind of let myself
I'm gonna
go.
mix some gin with another type of gin. Tell me what you think of that.
That might have been last year. Now, actually, last year everyone was sick. We had to cancel New Year's because everyone was sick.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
No one was doing New Year's because you guys canceled it.
We canceled.
You told everybody.
Yeah.
That there's no New Year's.
Yeah.
And we didn't have it.
Yeah, we didn't have New Year's Day.
All right.
So that's why 2017 has seemed so long.
Yeah.
It's all my fault.
There was not a new one.
Because my family got sick.
Yeah.
And screwed it over for all of you.
You stopped New Year's from actually happening.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. Now we can get to some Freem.
Yes, let's do some Freem. And I get my own bottle.
Yes. So you can't complain about
that's right. I can't. You can actually have a... Now, is this a 16 or a 12?
This is a 12.
Okay. We're going to get new glasses, too. Nice.
Of course.
All right.
As I say that right into the microphone. Sorry, everyone. My bad.
There we go.
So, I've had this beer on one of my shows before. Not a live show, but it has been in one of my...
It's a good beer. I've had it before. It's tasty.
There we go. Oh, yeah. So this is a Belgian-style blonde ale, and it is delicious.
Mm-hmm. It still has that kind of Belgian-y esters and stuff to it, but it's a lot lighter.
It's got the little bit of the clove flavor, a little bit of banana. Yeah.
But not too heavy.
Yeah.
And it's just nice, light, and crisp.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that banana hits you on the nose.
Yeah, I know.
That is tasty.
It is very good.
So this is Freem, P-F-R-I-E-M.
Yep.
And they are Hood River, Oregon.
Yeah. I've been to their place before.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been to Freem. I've been to a lot of them over that way, but I haven't been to Freem.
Yeah, Hood River's got Full Sail.
That's right.
They got, what's the other one? This Horse Feathers and Double Mountain.
Double Mountain. Yeah.
Double Mountain's the other one they got over there.
Yeah.
And Freem, too.
Yeah, I've been to Double Mountain. I've been to a lot of the ones over in Bend as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Deschutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
Alcohol's the perfect solvent. It dissolves marriages, families, and careers.
That is true. Which is why I preach responsible drinking on this channel whenever anyone asks. Except on New Year's Eve. That's the one day I kind of let myself go. I get one a year where I can have like 10 cocktails.
Whatever
and
you
I don't
want. Yeah, you don't care.
Because my wife's driving home that night.
Yep.
All right. So, the great canvas shortage of 2018.
That's right. It's been solved by Bethesda.
Yeah, it has been solved. So, I will be critical of companies when they do wrong, and I will praise companies when they do right, or when they correct their wrong actions.
I think they were kind of forced into this, to be fair.
They were forced into it, but it's still the right move.
Yeah.
It's better
it's
than
definitely the right move.
better than their initial correction.
Oh, God, yeah.
We'll give you 500 in-game currency that
Which
really doesn't cost us a fucking thing.
And it in real life was only like $5.
It was $5 and didn't even buy you a virtual canvas bag.
That's right.
Yeah. So Yeah, originally they said, "Oh, sorry, we couldn't get the canvas. It was just unavailable, or it was too expensive."
It's too expensive, they said.
Yeah. I heard multiple versions of it.
Oh, okay. I heard the too expensive thing. It was too much.
Yeah, the materials were too expensive.
Yeah.
There was also their official Twitter, I believe, said the materials were not available in the quantities we needed when we went to production.
Okay.
And so we swapped it for nylon. And it's like, well, you did that 3 months in advance of your marketing materials for the
Right.
change your marketing materials and maybe avoid this whole fiasco.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you're called on it, don't give someone something that doesn't cost you a darn thing.
Yeah, and I think what it was, there was another. I don't know if it was. It was. It wasn't PAX, and it wasn't. I forget. There was some game conference where they had a bunch of influencers there, and they gave them canvas bags.
Yeah.
As part of the swag,
Yeah.
so like
No, not the same one that they advertised in this, but it was a nicer backpack.
It was a canvas bag that they gave away for free.
Yeah, to influencers.
To influencers, yes.
I didn't get one.
Yeah. Well, we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Next
year.
I don't think it was at PAX though. I think they gave it something.
Well, it wasn't at QuakeCon because I didn't get one there either.
No, it wasn't QuakeCon. It was something. It was some other kind of games con.
Yeah, I've been to both of those and I didn't get squat. Even at Bethesda's event, I didn't get one of those.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a Pip-Boy mask.
That's right. Did they have those there?
They had the Vault Boy mask. That's where they introduced them. Was at QuakeCon.
That's too bad.
Yep, I didn't even get one of those. And in fact, I bought a really nice 40-ounce mug, like a Moscow Mule style mug, but it was 40 ounces, and someone swiped it off the table. Someone swiped my mug. Cost me $30 and someone swiped it. I was so mad.
Was it Fallout themed?
No, it wasn't.
It was just a mug.
It was just a mug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. It wasn't.
Couple of, I believe they had a Doom themed mug there, but yeah, they were some soda company was selling them there, and
there's this mug that I wanted to get, and this is completely off topic. But
and if you stole my mug, you're a son of a bitch, and I will find you next year.
It's like a Viking mug, but it's a skull with the Viking horn still on the horn, and then that's the handle right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like that. That was pretty cool.
But no, I was going to make a 40-ounce Moscow Mule when I got home, and I was so pissed off.
Like
the very last day.
The big gulp version of the Moscow Mule.
So I was working for Modders Inc. at the time, and I was at their booth helping them out, and I had my mug there, and we went to do our big giveaway, which we gave over something like $15,000 in merchandise away or something like that. Cool. Like ton of stuff. Just stop by, get a raffle ticket, and we'll give stuff away. So we're up on stage calling this stuff, and I walk back, and I'm going, where's my cup? Where the hell's my
Someone took it.
God, it was gone.
They probably gave it away as a gift.
No, because the giveaway was on the stage across the way.
Okay.
And so while we were giving $15,000 worth of stuff away, someone swiped my $30 mug off the table.
They probably lost the giveaway, and they're like, well, I'm just taking this.
I'm just taking this instead.
I get my own giveaways with blackjack and hookers and stealing things.
So Claw's off to work. Have a nice stream, guys. Claw, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy.
Thanks for the beers.
Enjoy work, I guess. Thanks for the beers, even though they were pretty terrible compared to our standards. We will send you something better.
The ass was okay.
The ass was okay.
I kind of like the ass.
You like the ass?
I like the ass.
You're a fan of the ass?
I'm a big ass fan.
Yeah.
Especially the fat old asses.
I like fat old asses, and I cannot lie.
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
Well, you set it up, so I had to finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how banter works.
Oh.
You can't finish your own joke.
I'm going to banter myself.
It irritates me because I'll set up a joke constantly for you guys, and you guys just miss it, and it's like, whatever, moment's passed. Anyway, Bethesda
finally.
Yeah, so after being called out for including nylon instead of canvas, and then giving away in-game credit, which was worth literally nothing, they're finally doing the right thing. So if you want to scroll down a little bit. So there was the advertising material. You see the canvas bag right there.
Looks nice.
You scroll down a little bit further. That's the bag that actually shipped.
Yeah, I think there's another picture here too.
Yeah.
There's another one right there.
And it's pretty terrible.
Looks pretty garbagey, yeah.
Pretty garbage. Scroll down one further to update right there. So the Twitter post. Originally, they said, we understand and respect there is some disappointment with the bag in the Power Armor Edition. We are sorry. Please contact Bethesda support to provide proof of your CE purchase. They will assist in granting your account 500 atoms.
Now, to be fair, this is Twitter. Characters are limited. They didn't say that it was a replacement for it. Maybe people assumed that. Maybe... I would be.
But it wasn't for 5 days later.
Yes, it wasn't for 5 days later
that they announced that they're going to replace your bags.
I would have assumed it too. So I'm not I'm not saying.
I I will give companies the benefit of the doubt when they've earned the benefit of the doubt.
And they don't.
Bethesda has swung out on every single opportunity they've had for the last month. Every bit of goodwill they have not only whiffed, but whiffed hard.
Yeah.
So, no, they do not get the benefit of the doubt from me here. That was wrong, and that was a shameful, disrespectful act to your customers. Update number 2, December 3rd. Bethesda support. We are finalizing manufacturing plans for replacement canvas bags for the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition. If you purchase the CE, please visit bethgames.com or through the bit.ly link to submit a ticket by January 31st, 2019. We'll arrange to send you a replacement as soon as the bags are ready.
See, now, the first one was posted by the Fallout account.
These are both official Fallout.
No, I understand.
Right.
The second one's officially from Bethesda support.
They both were official statements.
Yeah, I know they were both official statements,
right.
But I wonder if there's different groups doing them, and one just didn't really...
One's probably the marketing group, and then all they can do is give things away. They don't have any pull. But at the same time, if you're making official statements,
right,
they need to be good official statements.
Yes, exactly.
You can't worsen the...
It made it
the
worse.
impact,
and I understand. I mean, maybe they did intend the 500 atoms to be the replacement for it. Maybe they were just saying, okay, we're sorry this happened.
Right.
This is not a fix to it, but we're letting you have it because for your inconvenience type of thing. They didn't clarify, and the immediate assumption was this was a replacement, and I would have assumed the same thing too. Yeah. But they never clarified. Right. So I can't give it the... And
in fact, with all the talk about potential class action suits that are happening, there was a good number of people, rightfully so, saying, don't accept this. Because if you accept this as compensation...
You could be potentially limiting yourself for any...
You're waiving your right for any retaliatory acts.
Yes.
Or for any compensation you might be owed because of this fiasco, because of the game itself.
Yeah.
This all speaks to a greater thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, which is, as good as some Bethesda games are, they always live on that hair's breadth.
Oh, yeah.
Where the stories are good, but the gameplay is always buggy and always janky, and their animations are terrible, and they reuse assets all the time.
It's because they haven't updated the engine since, Morrowind?
Well, yeah, basically.
It's still the Gamebryo engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the Creation.
Well, it's the basis Gamebryo.
Which was the basis of Fallout 3.
Yes.
And so... You saw the Oblivion, I guess, was the first iteration of this.
That's right. That's
Oblivion.
Right. Yeah, Oblivion.
Yeah, Morrowind was completely different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe Morrowind was Gamebryo and then this.
Yeah, Morrowind was Gamebryo.
Okay.
But anyway, they've always lived on that razor's edge of what makes a good game. Because if you look objectively at the game, the quests are repetitive.
Yeah.
The skill trees are easily...
Some of them are repetitive. Some of them are good.
Some of them are interesting.
There's always a handful of good ones.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of quests. But you're right. The majority of them are pretty repetitive.
If I was a game reviewer looking at this game without the history of Bethesda, if I was looking at just Fallout 3 or just Skyrim or just this or just that in a vacuum, would I be as impressed with the game? And my answer is probably no. And the reason being is, as involving as it is, I don't know what it is about that game that grab you, but something grabs you and makes you play.
I think it's mainly because their open aspect to it, and that there's, and even if you don't enjoy it, you know that they encourage a big modding community. There's gonna have mods out there that make you...
Well, even that. I'm not even much of a modder when it comes to the games.
I don't really mod that much myself, but I do download them when I say, oh, that looks interesting, I'll give that a shot.
Right. I mostly install scenery stuff to make it prettier.
I've done that too.
But if you take the gameplay of let's take Skyrim. Let's take the game that's been re-released ad nauseum for 7 years.
Their swordplay is pretty sloppy.
The mechanics of the combat are horrible.
Oh, well,
they're laughably bad by modern standards.
It's always like, you start out trying to make X character.
Everyone's a stealth archer.
Everyone's a stealth archer. Everyone becomes a stealth archer towards the end because that's the easiest.
Right. And while the bow mechanics were okay,
yeah.
the swordplay mechanics are terrible. They're hack and slash.
Yeah.
Not even hack and slash.
Yeah.
Because
I also noticed that their sword weapons felt the same as their heavy.
No matter what you had.
No matter what you had, they felt the same.
You either have a melee weapon, you have a ranged weapon, or you have magic. And all the magic feels the same, even if the effect is slightly different. All your physical weapons feel the same. My character's moves are always janky if I'm trying to play in third person.
Right.
And I'd say it feels like I'm playing an MMO, but that's a disservice to MMOs that have come a long way in graphics.
Yeah.
Like seriously, this feels like I'm playing the original WoW iteration when it comes to the animation quality.
Yeah.
What were there? 5 voice actors for Oblivion?
Including Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like he was on screen all of 5 minutes.
5 minutes. He was like there at the beginning.
Yeah, he was the king, and then he died.
Yeah.
And then you never heard from him again. Yeah. But beyond that, there's like 4 or 5 voice actors for the entire game. Yeah. And the same thing with Skyrim, although they got a little bit more varied. At least their main characters had unique voices. But if you take the games objectively, they're not that great technologically. And they put a lot of effort into the storytelling, and I think that's what's kept them good. The problem with Fallout 76 is they completely watered that story down.
Well, there's no story, really.
There's no story.
It's mostly a survival.
And there's no and all of their games have been character driven. I am a character on a quest to do X, and I encounter other unique characters doing this. They've taken the I am unique aspect because everyone is the same as me now, and they've taken away the I encounter multiple unique characters because everyone's a dick who's trying to teabag.
Yeah, everybody. Because they always say that. Oh yeah, Bethesda games like that. They always rely on the mod community to fix it.
Right.
They're like, we'll just take it one step forward. We'll let everybody else make the story.
Right.
It's like, there you go.
Right.
But you're right. Then everybody's the dick.
But you see what I'm talking about. Where the one thing that keeps Bethesda the golden child when it comes to all of these games, and I'm talking all the way back to Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and going up the list, is the story is involving, and I feel like a unique character in a very unique universe, and it is character driven, where my character is directly interacting with another character, and I feel unique.
Yeah, you're no longer the only person. Now you're like the same as everybody
now
else.
I'm just a guy in an environment with just a bunch of other just a guys. And without that interaction, the story just waters down completely. And the problem is, when that happens, that's the only thing Bethesda has to stand on. When all of their other technical glitches start cropping up, you've lost all good faith.
Yeah, no, I know. And to be fair, I have not tried Fallout 76.
I have not either.
I don't plan on it, though, not for a while.
Nope. I was at the announcement for Fallout 76. I was at QuakeCon. I saw the press conference.
I remember watching it, and I was not that excited.
And I went,
yeah.
Really?
This seems like the wrong direction for them to do that. Because this is kind of their first foray into a multiplayer game. They really haven't done any.
Elder Scrolls Online. Another example of a very flat story.
Was that done by Bethesda? I thought that was done in conjunction with somebody else who's done
whether it was in-house or not.
Because it's not the same engine.
No, it's not. No, it's a different engine. Basically, this was a hacked-together creation engine. It's the same exact engine they run in Fallout 4. Which, by the way, I went over how you can very easily hack that and do whatever you want to do in the game, and there's no authentication mechanism within the engine to say that you can't do that on the server side. So, hackers, rejoice. You'll be the only ones in there. And just when we thought the news for Bethesda couldn't get any worse.
Oh, yeah.
Now they have a data breach!
Yes, of course.
So, if you submitted a ticket to Bethesda related to Fallout 76... bugs, issues, reimbursement, refund. Hey, I want a canvas bag instead of a nylon bag.
Guess what?
Your information is public. That ticket is public information.
It's all there now.
So here is the Reddit post, and this has links to all the relevant Bethesda posts within there. But yeah,
not a good look. I mean, they tried to get some clout by saying, okay, we're gonna get those canvas bags back, and now they're like, oh, surprise! Anybody who wanted that.
But we have names, email addresses, home addresses, credit card numbers, phone numbers, account names, you name it in the ticket.
Yeah. So if you're a member of the Thieves Guild and you want one of those canvas bags.
Oh, and Regan wants to say Fusroda. $2. Fusroda.
I'm a bigger fan of Voss Flam.
Yeah. So, but again, Someone pointed out it was ZeniMax Studios. I don't care if it was ZeniMax Studios or Bethesda proper or some Chinese company who is working on it, like is going to be working on Diablo.
Right.
I don't care. Your name is on it. It's your product.
Yes, it's your product, yeah.
And you have the same standards to uphold. And in the case of Fallout 76, your very loose standards technically took an even bigger hit than they normally do because you're shoehorning an engine or a game into an engine that shouldn't be there in an MMO with a single-player creation engine.
Yeah.
And your gameplay sucks. And there's no story. There's nothing to keep me there.
Yeah.
And you had all of these other release issues.
Yes. This is just
so this is a comedy of errors for Bethesda, the likes of which we've probably never seen. Like Bethesda got all of the passes in the past.
Mm-hmm. No,
they're not going to get anything with their next release.
No, this is kind of like their
little come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're going to have they only announced the new Elder Scrolls. They haven't really announced where it's going to be. What do they have coming up besides that? They had some kind of space one that they're trying to do too, right?
Rage 2.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Rage 2.
Yep.
That might be okay.
Yeah.
That because the first one wasn't okay. It wasn't super.
And no, you're thinking of Cyberpunk, which was CD Projekt.
No. This wasn't a Cyberpunk.
Oh, really?
It was something else. Starmaid or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. There is some kind of new rumored Bethesda
Starfield.
IP. Starfield. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Regan got you back.
Okay, good. I knew there was one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always had this opinion of Bethesda that their games are good because of the story. Mm-hmm. And technically they were never great. But for some reason they're engaging. I sunk 100 hours into Fallout 4. I sunk even more than that into Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
I sunk even more than that into Oblivion.
Oh, I think I sunk like a couple hundred hours in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Especially with all the mods and stuff like that.
I didn't play New Vegas as much.
I think that was outside of like Fallout 2, which technically was not Bethesda at that point.
Right.
That
was Interplay.
Yeah, that was Interplay at the time, yes. But I think that was the best...
I think that was the best storytelling game and the most involved plot.
Yes.
I thought it took a step down from Fallout 3 as far as gameplay goes. As far as exploration, and I feel like I'm kind of alone in this universe because... They tried to push their own engine too far into things that it couldn't do, and so it's like, oh, I'm on New Vegas. There's 3 buildings in Vegas.
Yeah, I know.
Really,
the Strip.
Really. So it's like
supposed to be the Strip. Yeah.
So the environments were not captivating to me, and that's one thing that I expect from a Fallout and an Elder Scrolls game is captivating environments and exploring the world.
You're supposed to go to someplace familiar in an alternate universe. Post-apocalyptic, so you're kind of supposed to recognize
and I did not get that in Vegas.
Yeah.
That is one aspect that
right.
wasn't there.
3 was pretty good, especially if you've been to Washington, D.C. before. You can go to the mall.
Which I have not, but still, I've seen... I know enough pictures that I'm exploring the Capitol Mall, and I recognize the Capitol Mall.
Yeah.
And even as you're walking out into areas that are not canon to the U.S., you're walking toward Tenpenny Tower.
Right.
You've got this tower out in the distance, and you've got so much stuff to traverse to get there. Mm-hmm. And it is every bit of it is interesting. Fallout New Vegas was not interesting at all.
See,
as far as the exploration goes.
I kind of like the desolation of it because it is the desert.
Right.
So it's supposed to be that way.
Right.
And so there were a couple mods that came out where it was like real survival type thing.
Yes.
Where you kind of had, this is the desert. You had thirst and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you had to really manage yourself there. But I think it did have the best story. Mm-hmm. It really did.
Yep. So yeah, I'm always split on New Vegas. I knew New Vegas is the unofficial, the golden child. Story was great. I love the story. Mm-hmm. I love the three families. I love the whole story with Mr. House and everything. I thought it was great.
Well, it was because Fallout 3 was, I gotta find my dad.
Yeah.
And then Fallout 4 is, I gotta find my son.
And then
New Vegas is I got my revenge.
I got shot in the head. I'm gonna go kill him.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So I think the story was a little more interesting.
It was more interesting.
Yeah.
And again, I give it props for that. But gameplay-wise, it didn't just grab me. And it didn't hold me as much as the other Fallout games did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, no, I really liked it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I don't begrudge you for liking Vegas more. Mm-hmm. You're entitled to your opinion, just like my videos.
It's an opinion thing.
Just like my videos. I'll give you my opinion, but I give you enough information so you can form your own. So
it's a horse with no name.
Yeah. The horse with no rain.
No rain, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, if you submitted a Bethesda ticket recently,
yeah, it's a good chance you've probably been doxxed.
Yep.
Or not doxxed, but your information's out there in
Well,
the ethos.
it's kind of what it is.
Kind of.
That's what hacking is.
Revenge doxing.
That's right. So keep an eye out for it. 20 minutes, rapid fire. Let's get through these last 3 real quick.
Okay, let's do it real quick.
So Nintendo has brought an end to the very controversial Creators Program.
Yeah, it was pretty much garbage to begin with.
It was a BS move to begin with.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo, I don't know if you're aware, but copyright law doesn't extend past first-party doctrine when it comes to rebroadcasting entertainment. It does to movies, but it does not to video games.
Nope.
So first sale doctrine, I now have rights to play my video game in public, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, because it's not scripted.
Right.
Yeah, you can do what you want to do, so therefore it is not...
Right.
Yeah. I can't take and say, hey, this is my video game and
I am taking your video game and turning it into my own personal art form because I am the one playing
because it is an interactive medium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is where the line is drawn. That's where copyright law defines the law to be drawn.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, you don't have rights to monetize a stream because I put Smash Brothers on my screen.
Yeah.
And you don't have rights to issue DMCA takedowns because someone is playing Smash Brothers
Even though they do it all the time.
and saying the F word on there.
Yeah.
You don't have rights to do that. And the Creators Program, which was against copyright law in the first place, I might add, has now been canceled.
Thank God.
So instead, it is rolling out modernized guidelines, which no one has to follow.
Right. Because it's going to have no teeth anyway.
Right. It has no teeth. So the new guidelines include language of you may monetize your videos and channels using the monetization methods separately specified by Nintendo. No, you can't. You can do whatever you want. Other forms of monetization of our intellectual property for commercial purposes are not permitted. Well, unless I own the product and then I'm selling the product to someone else, then yes, they are because I have first sale doctrine.
Yes.
So if I want to sell the game, I can sell the game.
Resell the game. Yeah, basically.
We encourage you to create videos that include your creative input and commentary. Videos and images that contain mere copies of Nintendo game content without creative input or commentary are not permitted. Debatable. Debatable. If all I'm doing is showing all of the cutscenes in a Mario game, you probably have teeth there.
Yeah.
If I'm playing the game, sorry, you're out of the picture entirely.
If you're playing the game and you don't see anything except for "this sucks" at the end, they got nothing.
Exactly.
They got no clout.
Yeah. Do an interpretive dance in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's all you do.
And make Link do an interpretive dance in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you are art now.
Yeah.
Videos and images that contain mere copies of Nintendo gameplay are not permitted. You may, however, post gameplay, videos, and screenshots using Nintendo system features, such as the capture button on Nintendo Switch, without additional input or commentary. So as long as you're using their methods to capture...
Then you don't have to say anything.
Then I don't have to say anything. But if I use a capture card...
Then you have to say something.
Then I have to say something.
Which is... That's
no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. That has no teeth.
Don't.
You are only permitted to use Nintendo game content that has been officially released or for promotional materials officially released by Nintendo. And there are street dates that are enforceable by law.
I think there's a lot of places that do that. If you get like a beta access, you have to sign an NDA. You can't release anything. So that's okay. That's fair.
All right. If you want to use the intellectual property of a third party, you are responsible for obtaining any necessary third-party permissions. No, you're not. You are permitted to imply or state that your videos you are not permitted to imply or state that your videos are officially affiliated or sponsored by Nintendo.
I don't know why you want to do that in the first place.
If they are sponsored by Nintendo, yes, you are required because that becomes sponsored content.
Yeah.
And so there are actually advertising guidelines and laws that you fall under, and you are required to say, this Nintendo paid me to play this game on YouTube.
Which I don't think Nintendo does that. I mean...
They may.
They may in the future, but I don't think they do that now, though.
I don't know that they do.
Maybe in Japan.
But technically, if Nintendo is paying you money to play a game, that is sponsored content.
Yes.
And a lot of times, sponsored content comes with guidelines of say positive things about the game.
Right. You can't.
Right.
Yeah,
you're not going, this sucks. I would never buy a Nintendo Switch ever.
And you have to say that you're
sponsored by Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah. That's not going to happen. So,
exactly.
So yeah, if you are sponsored by Nintendo, you do have to mention that you are sponsored by Nintendo. We reserve the right to remove any content that we believe is unlawful, infringing, inappropriate, or not in line with these guidelines. You cannot reserve the right because you feel it is inappropriate.
Right.
You don't own rights to what I say. Sorry, Nintendo. So, yeah. Those are their new guidelines.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. It's Nintendo trying to...
The whole improper one, that just leaves up to interpretation.
Right.
If you are poo-pooing their game,
but again,
there's no... that's offensive.
But again, there's no legal teeth behind that.
No, there's no legal teeth behind it.
Right.
They could probably issue a DCMA takedown or whatever, and they could just be like, whatever.
Right, but then you can contest it and say no.
Yeah, you can contest and say, hey, no, that's not against YouTube's rules or whatever like that, and then they'll just ignore it.
Right, exactly. So, yeah. Good morning from Germany. How's it going, Adrian?
BUTTE.
What?
I don't know. Isn't that good morning in German?
Guten Morgen.
Good Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
That was closer.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I butchered
Steve
your
is
language.
butchering your language.
I'm
not much, but I can read German. I'm terrible at speaking it, and I can only read some German.
I just like German beers.
Yeah, which we're drinking a Belgian style right now.
Smells Belgian. Oh, that's another one.
Yeah. So if you like Star Wars and you want more Star Wars canon coming to the universe, Disney is introducing what they're calling Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures to debut Star Wars to kids.
For kids.
So basically giving kid-friendly introductions to main characters. Basically like origin stories. Or explorative adventures or whatever else.
We'll see.
So...
we'll see. I saw this and I'm like, this might be a little dubious. I don't know. We'll see how it is.
I'm interested to see what they do with it. Because Clone Wars, good series.
Okay, Clone Wars was good.
Right.
I'll give them that. But the recent movies, which they'll probably have nothing to do with those.
Again,
I have not been super impressed with that.
I am reserving judgment on 8 until I see 9.
Okay. All right.
Because no one thought Empire was good when Empire released until Jedi came out, and then suddenly Empire was best.
Okay, I saw Empire in theater. Granted, I was a kid at the time, but I loved it then.
Right.
I loved it then.
Right. I was a kid. When I saw episode 1, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
And then when I got older and I went, why did I like that movie? That movie was terrible acting all the way through.
Yeah, I didn't like it when it first came out
myself.
Myself.
But you're 10 years older than I am.
Yeah, I was definitely older when I saw it. And I was super hyped when it first came out, too. We went opening night.
I went opening night. In costume.
Well, I didn't go in costume. But there's a lot of people in costume. Which theater did you go to opening night?
I was still living down in Eugene.
Oh, okay, okay. So we're in Tigard, but yeah, no. And I got out of that. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. and as a kid, I got hyped by the pod racing scene was awesome, and then by the by the space battle. So there were some good scenes in there.
The pod racing scene was good. It was okay. The story behind it and everything like that was like...
Right. It was weak.
Yeah, it was weak.
What, you don't want 3 episodes of political drama?
Yeah, what? You don't want to see what the Senate's doing up... You want to see what the Senate's up to now?
Oh god, the ET home planet is filibustering. That basically happened. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, no, I did. They had them there. And we want to initiate the Phone Home Initiative. We don't believe the Phone Home Initiative goes far enough.
Yeah. I object. Anyway. They do not have rights. Under issuance 403 CB.
Yeah, so anyway, I mean, anything...
My opponent is a bigoted racist.
Anything new Star Wars coming out, I'm like a little dubious about.
Fireplace, the garbage.
Got it. My producer had some production notes for me.
Yeah, there we go.
So, yeah, like I said,
we'll see.
When I was a kid, and I was over 10, but I wasn't much over 10 when it came out. I did enjoy it. By the time episode 2 came out, episode 2 was like, and episode 3, I liked episode 3 better than 2, and it told a better story and it wrapped things up a little bit better. The acting was still deplorable.
Yeah. Well, you got Hayden Christensen. You're not gonna do it.
You can't do much.
Can't do much with him.
No offense, he's been better in a couple other films. I liked him in Jumper.
He was pretty wooden. I mean, to be fair, the dialogue was pretty bad.
It was badly written.
It was badly written. So I mean, it's kind of hard.
You can only do so much with it.
You only do so much with like badly written dialogue. That's true.
But again, 4 years later, when episode 3 came out, it was like I understood what episode 1 was at that point, and I was like, that was not a good movie.
Yeah.
And I was like 16 at the time, so it was like I developed very quickly into wow, what am I watching?
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, I will judge episode 8 when 9 comes out, and I've had time to digest it.
Okay.
Because
that's fair enough.
I thought episode 1 was good when it came out, and then I hated it by the time episode 3 came out. And the same thing with Empire. Again, I was already born by the time Jedi was out. And so I already knew Darth Vader, I Am Your Father by the time I watched Empire. Yeah. And I thought Empire was great. Yeah. But that's because I knew how the story ended.
Yeah.
If you left the theater and the dark side literally just won.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, people were pissed.
People were pissed.
No, I understood that.
And they ruined everything the first movie set up, and why did they do this? And I'm never watching this again, and Lucas is a sham, and da-da-da-da. I hate his universe, and there was a lot of that reaction if you go back and read papers from 1980.
No, I know that, but I mean, a lot of the people who didn't like who didn't like Empire Strikes Back also didn't like Star Wars to begin with anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, that's no big surprise.
But there had also never been a cliffhanger movie where the bad guy wins.
Oh, there's been lots of cliffhanger movies. Well, I mean, serials.
1980?
Like, no. Even before then, this old serials that you used to show in front of movies. Mm-hmm. That's where the term cliffhanger came from.
Right.
Because every time they went to go see something, it appeared that the bad guy ended. That the bad guy won, that the hero died. But to see how the hero lives, you have to come back the next week, watch the next movie so you can see the other serial and see what happens.
Well, yes.
So they took that same notion.
But they put it in a theater where you're paying money to go sit in a theater for 2.5 hours and do that.
Well, that's where serials came from. It's before trailers. That's where serials were.
Yes, I know. But serials were 7-minute shorts.
Yeah, they were pretty short.
So expand that out to a 2.5 hour movie where
actually, if you want to see the best, because that's where the very first
Star Wars was probably the first to do that.
No, the
at
first
that scale.
Maybe at that scale.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
at that scale.
But like if you want to see some,
then you didn't get the conclusion for 3 years.
If you're a big fan of early theater, like old black and white, the very earliest Batman was a serial. And
I've never watched them, but I'm aware of their existence.
Okay, you have to go find their Riff Tracks version of the Batman serials. So the Riff Tracks guys are the same guys who did the original Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Okay.
And they have a series called Riff Tracks now. Mm-hmm. You can go to their website and you can download the whole series of the Batman serial. And they riff on all of them. And they are great. I highly recommend it.
I think I'll have to do that.
It is very good.
Yeah. But no, the problem with Empire was you set it up in 1977.
Yeah.
And then 1980 comes along, and we're going to get the next chapter in this.
Right, and there weren't too many sequels back then. I mean,
and there weren't too many sequels. And let alone were there not many sequels, there were not a lot of 2.5 hour movies that literally killed everyone and cut the main character's hand off and froze the other guy and killed half the rebellion and then sent him off on this ship going, well, at least we still have hope.
They didn't kill half the rebellion.
The entirety of the rebel fleet was like 9 ships at the end of that movie.
Okay, they didn't really specifically say that they were scattered. They were scattered, so you don't really know.
Right, but Darth Vader won that movie.
He did. He got the upper hand, definitely, yes. No, he did. It did look like the bad guys were winning.
Then you brought up the serials. Well, the serial was tune in next week to see how
it was.
You didn't get that for 3 years. It was 1983.
That's true.
So again, you had 3 years to sit there and chew on Darth Vader 1.
A lot of people speculated that there was going to be a third movie already. A lot of people knew that.
Everyone knew because the first one was such a success.
Right.
The third was already signed. Otherwise, the second wouldn't have ended like that.
Yeah.
But you don't go into a movie at that time frame expecting that.
That's true. And even there's not too many movies back then where
even now there's not a lot of movies
ending.
And even now there's not a lot of movies that do that. You've got
more of the art house ones do.
Right. Well, you had the Matrix that brought it back around for Matrix Reloaded.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about Matrix.
Right. I wish they made sequels.
I don't even want to talk about Matrix.
I wish they made sequels. But you have that movie, which the first one was great. The second set up a cliffhanger as bad as the second movie was. It set up a cliffhanger, and then the third redeemed it.
The black hole. Wait, hold on. This one's talking about the black hole. You remember the black hole? I remember the black hole. I love black hole.
I don't.
It's an old Disney sci-fi with old Bob. I think what was the other robot? It was Winston, I think.
Oh!
He had the little floating guy.
Yeah.
He was a floating guy he had like red. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one.
But you've got the Matrix trilogy.
Yeah.
That kind of brought back the Cliffhangers 2 movie, because the Indiana Jones didn't follow that. They were all wrapped up nice and clean, all three of them.
Well, I mean, it was the same thing. Like Matrix made so much money. They're like, okay, we're gonna do a trilogy.
We're gonna do
now.
a trilogy. We're gonna do two movies.
Yeah.
The next really that was out there was Lord of the Rings, which we already knew the ending. Of Lord of the Rings.
We already knew the Lord of the Rings, and they already announced that there was gonna be three.
Right. There was the Hunger Games, which ended very, very abruptly and very dark in one of the movies.
I never finished watching.
It wasn't because Catching Fire was 2 parts.
Right.
There was
the last one.
There was the number 2 ended very dark. Mm-hmm. And so that was one that was kind of took a couple of people back, even though there was a book but again, those aren't the same.
It's not an original story. It's
because we already know the
story.
story.
We already know the story. Yeah.
And so again, going back to, it's not that common of a trope in movies to do that. And in fact, Marvel just did their first one with the Avengers.
Yes. Yeah.
With Thanos killing half the people.
Half the
Spoiler
people,
alert. Sorry.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows. But anyway, so it's not that common of a trope in a movie. And when you're the first to do it in 1980, 40 years ago.
Okay, no, there were movies back then that were still dark endings or not happy endings per se, but they weren't sci-fi. Mm-hmm. And then that's why they kind of labeled, Star Wars the space opera, because it wasn't like, pew pew, hooray, we won.
Right.
It
wasn't campy.
Yeah, it wasn't campy.
Right.
There was some story behind it.
Well, Han was campy.
Okay. It wasn't like Flash Gordon or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
There was actually some seriousness to it.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people appreciated that, and that's why I think that maybe, I don't know, I was so young at the time, and maybe looking back, this just could be me looking back at it again.
Go back and read Roger Ebert's review of Empire to get a perspective on it. Yeah, because he ripped that thing to shreds.
No, I know, because he didn't like the original Star Wars either.
Right,
but he came back later.
Right,
and he redid a whole thing about Star Wars and talking about I was wrong and da. Yeah.
So, Regan, I don't feel so good. So, the last little nugget of news that we have is Epic Games is starting their own Steam's or rival store to Steam.
That's right.
And they're starting with a little bit of a vengeance.
They're trying to attract people by
undercutting
Steam quite a bit.
By saying you're going to get a much larger cut than Steam gives you. So Steam, their policy states that for the first, 30 million in sales, you get 70% of the revenue. Valve takes 30.
They take a big chunk.
For the next 40 million, they take 20%. And for the next 50 million and every dollar after that, they take 85%, or they take 15%.
15%. They take lower. Yeah.
But that's a pretty high stair step. Yeah. I mean, you've got to do $400 million in sales. That's a lot.
So that obviously benefits the big developers, the AAA developers.
Right. Epic Games is saying flat rate 88%.
Yeah, and actually on top of that, if it is a Unreal,
if you use Unreal Engine. Free licensing.
Yeah. It cuts that licensing.
Because before you had to do, 10 million in sales, and after 10 million you had to license Unreal Engine, or it was some number that was up there a little bit.
Yeah, so you get free licensing.
Yeah, you get free licensing on Unreal if you sell through the Epic Store. So that is actually...
It seems pretty attractive.
I don't want another marketplace, though.
I don't either. I mean, Discord just put one out.
Yeah.
I mean... One of these days, there's...
I got 50 free games because I'm a Nitro subscriber.
Okay, do you remember back in the day, we had like ICQ and AIM and all these other different messengers. And somebody eventually came up with, I'm going to make a messenger...
A unified
messenger. Pretty soon, someone's going to make like
a unified games client.
It's
going to have to happen.
It's like, okay, I want to go Steam, I'll go Steam. I want to go here, I'm going to go here.
Right.
And they're going to try unifying the friends lists. Because there's just so many out there right now.
I'll be honest with you. I don't install Origin. I own 20 games on Origin.
Yeah.
I don't install it.
No, I still have Origin installed because there's a few games on there that I like playing.
I played a couple and I benchmarked a couple. It is not installed on my main workstation and my main gaming machine. Yeah. I don't install it. No, and the reason being...
I have so many clients. It's ridiculous.
the store itself feels a little bit broken, a little bit janky, a little bit slow. It's always the last thing to start up on my machine because it takes so freaking long.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of...
And if you follow Twitter, Gamers Nexus Hardware Unbox, Tech Yes City, Tech Yes City actually just posted a video that if you have 5 or more revisions to your PC inside of a certain time period, they'll lock your account out for 24 hours.
Origin will?
Origin will.
Oh, man.
And it's no longer reversible. Before, if you were a game benchmarker, you can contact them and say, yeah, I'm just testing a bunch of hardware. They go, oh, okay, we'll unlock it. They can't do that anymore.
So is that why you don't have it installed on your... Yeah.
I don't install it anymore. And in fact, for a small guy like me who can't own 4 different accounts to test Battlefield 5 on so many configurations, I can't test Origin games anymore because I'm not going to shell out $200 to test Battlefield 5. I'm not going to do it. I don't care how popular that game is. I don't care how popular...
It's not that popular right now.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've already cut it like 50% off. I've seen it out there.
Well, we also know Titanfall's not that popular anymore. Titanfall 2.
Well, Titanfall 2 was actually pretty fun.
You can get it for $5 though.
I got it for $5 last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But it was a good game. The single player was good. I didn't play the multiplayer. But
right.
I like the single player.
But again, it's like I haven't found... I did benchmark Titanfall 2 in a couple of my different benchmarks. I believe I benchmarked Battlefield 1 in a couple of my gaming benchmarks. I always try to vary it up to get different perspectives depending on what I'm trying to demonstrate.
Yeah.
And so usually I'll pick GTA 5 and Doom are pretty much always in because they scale universally with hardware. You know you have better hardware because those games just scale perfectly.
Way perfectly, yeah.
And there's nothing really that holds them back either. And so it's not like, oh, the CPU sucks, so this is going to benchmark terribly, except GTA 5 with dual socket systems. But I usually try to vary up the other 4 or 5, 6 titles that I'm doing. So I'll do Counter-Strike in one, and I'll do Rocket League in another, and I'll do this game in this, and this game in another. I've benchmarked Shadow of the Tomb Raider a couple times. And then I stopped benchmarking it because... let's move on to something else. Not everyone plays that game. Yeah. And I don't have unlimited time to benchmark games. So usually I'll do between 6 and 8 games. And that's usually a full day of benchmarking for me to do that.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a while.
It takes a while.
Especially if you need to do multiple video cards. Because you have to do... I usually do 3 runs per test. And so for every video card, every resolution, every configuration, I'm doing 3 runs. If I'm testing 3 video cards, even just at 1080p, and I'm doing 8 games, that's
a long time.
That's 92 benchmark runs.
Yeah, going up there
that I have to run.
Yeah, loading it up, run the benchmark, record the setting. Yeah,
yeah. Reboot the computer in between if you need to. Swap out hardware, reinstall drivers, do that whole process. Oh, Windows Update hit me in the middle. Are my benchmarks invalidated now? There's a whole process to doing benchmarks, and so. Yeah, usually like I said, I do 3 runs to make sure my runs are consistent.
Yeah, I really didn't like when they started tying hardware changes to...
And what right do they have to do that?
Yeah,
I'm authenticated and I'm the only user logged in. What the hell does it matter at that point?
I know. Yeah. Especially when you can figure out where the person's logging in from. It's not that hard.
It's the same IP address.
It's the same IP address. They're like, well, okay, it's the same IP address. Let's just let them do it.
Right. And I'm not skirting your activation laws by giving my brother a system that he's going to play offline for 3 weeks and then it's going to lock him out because the time... Big deal, he got to play the game for 3 weeks. He wasn't going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Stop flexing.
Well, that was the whole thing.
Weird flex, bro.
Yeah. I mean, this is the whole thing with... I don't know, it's a piracy thing, but where they've basically done studies. It's like, it doesn't...
Do you realize the pirates are the biggest customers out there?
Yeah, I know. It's like people tend to be like, okay, I like this game. I'm going to go buy it.
Right,
yeah.
Well, even that, they'll go, you know what? I just bought $300 in games from EA. I'm just going to pirate this one. You already got $300 from me.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, the pirates are not your concern.
They're not the problem. Yeah.
And they're not a direct loss. It's been proven time and time again.
Yeah, they're not a direct loss.
Yeah. They weren't going to spend the money anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. They weren't going to buy it. So, yeah, because the majority of the piracy comes from countries where software is just insanely expensive.
Right.
And they weren't going to buy it regardless. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, hey, it's 10:03.
Yeah. Well, one more thing about
about Epic. That's right.
It was sad to me because I really like this and I was excited that they were doing this.
This is kind of the end of an era.
It is.
Because of freaking Fortnite.
Yeah, and it's all Fortnite's fault.
Yep.
Is Epic stops work on Unreal Tournament sequel because of Fortnite.
Yep.
It's another reason to hate Fortnite.
Another reason to hate Fortnite.
Unreal Tournament, by all means, a much better game, I think. Skill-based, anyway.
Yep.
Is stopped being worked on because of Fortnite.
Yep.
And I was actually excited about the Unreal
There's no
Tournament.
building crafting in Unreal Tournament.
Well, whatever. There is if you have the Unreal Engine. You build your own level.
That's right. But not in the game.
No, not while you're playing.
I can't build scaffolding in Unreal while I'm...
No. But that's not what the game is about. It's one of the best arena shooters.
Yeah.
That and Quake.
I don't want to feel like I'm playing Minecraft and building scaffolding while I'm playing a first-person shooter.
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
Because, okay, the whole notion with Fortnite, with the whole Battle Royale, that was an afterthought.
Yes, it was.
The original game was not like that.
No.
In fact, when it was first released...
The original game was basically tower defense.
Yes, it was tower defense. So it was supposed to be that you and
Build
your
a
friends
tower.
were gathering resources, you build your fort really quick, and you're supposed to defend it. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And it did not do well.
Right. And then they released a Battle Royale mode, and it's the most insanely popular game ever.
And it just took off.
Right.
It just took off.
Right.
And I don't understand why. And then because they're making money hand over fist, and they're like, well, we ain't going to work on an old tournament no more.
And I can't begrudge them for making money hand over fist because they're cosmetic upgrades.
Yes.
And so, and we've said time and time again, I will support cosmetic DLC because that's your choice. Mm-hmm. There's no advantage to the player other than bragging rights.
And that was the model that was supposed to be for Unreal Tournament, too.
Right.
And not only were they going to do their own content, but I think they were supposed to open it up.
I do own a number of hats.
I own lots of hats on studio. But yeah, they were supposed to open up the market so that users can submit their own stuff, and people can buy it, they can put it in the game, blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to have like a market for people.
Yeah.
That's all gone now.
Yep.
But, whatever.
Yep. So yeah, I can't begrudge them because they're making money the right way.
I mean, I don't blame them, but I'm still sad about it.
Right. Kind of like Red Dead Redemption. I bought the game, but I bought the game because it's an immersive single-player experience that I have sunk way too much of my time into the last 2 weeks. I will not ever log into the online game because of the economy that they set up there, where it literally is pay to win.
I haven't looked into it because I don't have the game.
You can't buy in-game currency yet because it's in beta. But the prices of the items and the amount of grind time that you have to put in to buy them. Basic guns is ridiculous.
So just to have guns, decent guns, you have to just
you have to grind
tons of money.
You have to grind like 40 hours to get the starter set of one of every weapon or something like that. Man. It's like, no. I played the original game. I've probably got 40 hours into the single player game.
They're going to sell their equivalent to shark cards pretty soon.
They're going to sell Western Bucks or Gold Nuggets or whatever the hell they're going to call them. And that's their economy. And they're going to make money hand over fist because people buy pay-to-win stuff. Yeah. And in my opinion, that's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah. No, I'm absolutely right with that.
Yep. Ryan Patton says, my son was addicted to Fortnite until I took it away. He still dances, though.
Well, just start taking away his legs.
And Skull says, sorry for your loss. Do they make shackles in 8-year-old size? If Fortnite didn't look like a game for 6-year-olds, I might be interested to try outside of benchmarking. I won't even benchmark it because
I don't think
it doesn't have any benchmark-worthy numbers to it.
It's not a demanding engine.
Right. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Any hardware that you throw at it on low settings is not going to struggle to run 150 FPS or lower. It's just not.
Yeah.
I can turn up the quality on a GTX 1080 versus a GT 1030, but no one's going to play it like that because the grass obscures the player versus if you have the low rendering, then it doesn't obscure the player. So everyone plays with it on low. So, why would I benchmark?
Why would I even benchmark it? Yeah.
Because any card will play that at 144 hertz.
Yeah.
Up to a certain resolution.
Is there a good PS3 emulator? I want to play Red Dead Redemption again. There's a PSS
RSPC.
RSPC 3.
Yeah.
It's
getting better. It's not playable yet. However,
Red Dead Redemption is not playable yet. Yes.
Yeah. Not at a playable frame rate. They do have the graphics almost perfect though.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Look up RSPC 3. I believe it's what it's called. and it's PlayStation 3 emulator. They do have in-game footage from Red Dead Redemption on a PC playing at 1080p. However, it's not at 30 FPS yet.
No, not even close.
Although they said they expect within the next 3 to 4 months to have Red Dead Redemption playable.
Yeah, they'll usually they have it.
They've made
close.
They've made some remarkable breakthroughs both in Xenia, which is the Xbox 360 emulator, and RSPC3 on the PlayStation 3 side, that have turned those game consoles from we will never ever be able to emulate these because the hardware is just so obscure to we'll have it in the next 3 months.
Yeah. No, they've made great strides. I think there's even a few games that are completely playable.
Yes.
Yeah,
there are.
So.
I want to say Shadow of the Colossus was playable.
Oh yeah, no, Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. Which that was PS2 actually.
Yeah, okay.
That's been out for a while.
Yeah,
you can play Shadow of the Colossus.
That's right.
But they re-released it as a remastered version.
Right. No, there was a AAA Sony exclusive that RSPC3 got playable at 30 FPS.
It was another anime.
Just like Halo is playing at like 22 FPS or something like that on Xenia right now. Oh, so they're close to getting Halo. Halo 3.
It was some Japanese RPG that they got. That was a PS3 exclusive. Yeah, I can't remember.
But yeah, they're close to doing Halo 3 at a playable frame rate on Xenia right now. So. Also congrats on the 75K. Did I pass it during the stream? I probably did. Because I was close. I was at 74,913 when the stream started.
Red Dead Redemption.
75,048. Past 75,000 on camera.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
that is
everybody.
Awesome. I don't think I'm going to hit 100K before the end of the month, but
that would be nice
if I could hit 80.
Yeah,
80's doable by the end of December.
Yeah.
Let's make 80 happen, guys. Let's make 80K happen by the end of December.
Get your grandma to sign up and your nieces and nephews.
So I'll disclose here and now. When I hit 200,000, I'm quitting my full-time job.
Yeah.
Yep. When I hit 200,000.
200,000.
Because even the YouTube ad revenue, if I've calculated that out properly, 200,000 will be almost equivalent to my full-time job.
Wow.
Not as far as benefits and everything else, but I'm assuming I'm going to have other revenue sources on top of YouTube ad revenue. Yeah. So I will be able to sustain this business at 200,000 and keep my expectation of living here. So, or quality of life.
Without having to panhandle or anything.
Without having to pour myself out.
The virtual panhandling.
Right. But Patreon subscribers, you are definitely noticed. There's 87 of you, I want to say right now.
I am really impressed with our Patreon subscribers because we have they chat all the time.
Yeah, there's always someone online.
There's always somebody online. It seems like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to join in, but I'm busy most of the time. I can't.
Yep. I started watching Jay's 2 Cents when he had 12K. I started watching him when he was about 70. So literally about my size is when I started watching Jay's 2 Cents. And honestly, he's done this in about 4 years. He's gone from 70K to 1.7.
You've only been for 1 year, so you're doing really good.
I've been on 18 months.
Yeah, a little bit over a year.
Yep. So, thank you, everyone. I do appreciate it. And at this point, I'm confident in saying I think I can make this work. I think I'm starting to formulate a business plan for how I want my channel to grow and evolve. I'm starting to formulate some other plans for different revenue streams on things. And not a lot of it is ad-based. I will be placing ads in videos eventually, but I do have limitations on what ads I will place. You would be amazed. I have not done a sponsored video yet, but not for lack of offers, because I've turned every single one of them down.
I hope that making your own line of whiskey is within your business plan. We can do some craft computing whiskey.
It is. Yeah. I want to distill my own whiskey and sell
I think I'm going to have to start distilling now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I want to form my own distillery. Because eventually I will be buying a shop, and the shop will be large enough to have a distillery within it.
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do distillery. Yeah, because I've seen some micro distillers out there, and they don't need that much space.
You don't need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can age 100 barrels in a warehouse the size that I'm building.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah.
And 100 barrels gets you a lot of whiskey.
That's a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. So eventually we will be doing something.
Yeah.
So. Try to disable ad block when I watch your show. I appreciate that. Every view counts, and every view works.
We already got people who want a bottle of craft computing whiskey.
Yep.
There are already buyers.
Yep.
We already have a market. One person.
Will I be doing car content in the warehouse? It's possible. I do car maintenance. I've never done car modding or or upgrades or anything like that outside of I'm going to put a cold air intake on this today.
But we do have a Discord channel dedicated to
car talk.
Now, yes, we do.
Right. So if you like to talk about cars, there is a car channel on my Discord channel.
Yeah.
So join the Patreon. Do patrons get free samples of the new beta products? No, because it's highly illegal to even make it, let alone ship it. So no. Until I am fully licensed, it will not be leaving my property. Yeah. Not that I'll even be making it when I'm not fully licensed.
We have done, because with John, I know we do beer trades, and we have done, and John just did his own canning.
Yes.
So we have cans of homebrew, so we'll do trades of homebrew and beer.
Yes.
But we can't sell it.
Can't sell it.
Can't sell it.
Right. So yeah. And making desk chairs out of car seats.
yes. The whole desk chair out of the car seat was. I've been following. That's pretty.
You've seen mine, haven't you?
I have seen yours. Yes.
Mine is actually pretty impressive. As ghetto as it is, it works.
It works,
and it is balanced. It actually, I do have a tilt base on it, so just like it has every aspect of these chairs, where it actually does the full back. The car seat still reclines independent of the chair motion.
Yeah.
And it is fully balanced, so I can lean all the way back, and I've slept in that chair.
Oh yeah,
I full on slept in that chair.
Yeah.
So nobody is distilling anything. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say on that topic.
I'll label it as computer part cleaning solution.
That's right.
We'll just call it that.
You can distill alcohol for cleaning agents.
Yeah, you can. You can.
So as long as I'm not consuming it,
you can. Yeah, not for.
It is fully legal.
Just put warning labels.
Not for consumption.
Not for consumption. Then you can legally ship.
Right.
It. Yeah.
And technically, I don't think I'd be legally allowed to send free samples over the mail. I would have to sell those as well once I'm fully licensed, I think. Unless they're for review or something like that, but I doubt any of you count as reviewers. So there's a lot of limitations when it comes to shipping hard alcohol. Less so or more so than it comes to shipping beer.
Yeah.
So, distillation is a whole other ball of wax.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is.
So, but that's the market I want to get into because that's the one I'm passionate about. I enjoy...
Well, distilling is a whole different ballgame than brewing.
Yes, it is.
Brewing is the first step.
Yes.
Then the distilling part.
Yeah.
That's
anyone can mash something and then let it ferment for 2 weeks and then, hey, let's keg it.
Yeah.
Distillation, it's like 7 years. You might find out if it was good.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's put it in some barrels and maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Hopefully it ages out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I want to get into distillation because the whole process just intrigues me. But in that, I would probably have to hook up with some kind of distill master, some kind of whiskey aficionado to guide me along that process. Probably have to do MGP for a couple years.
Yeah. You might
get a product out there.
You might want to start out with something simple like rum or
That's what vodka, a lot of distillers do. Is they will start producing vodka and rum because you can age those for 6 months.
Then ship them. This doesn't take much. Whereas and even Rogue did that. They did the young whiskey. They did young whiskey and they started shipping that out. And to be fair, it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like horrible, but but they still, they charged a lot of money for that.
Yeah, they did.
It was kind of ridiculous.
And to be fair, they're still fairly expensive, but they do 100% in-house.
Yes.
They grow their own grains.
All their stuff. Yes.
They
all their stone
Rogue
stuff.
is very cool because everything they do is 100% in-house. Yeah. With very, very few exceptions. So I don't mind paying the little extra penny because I've been to that distillery. I've been to that brewery.
I've been there several times.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there a couple times, and they are always a joy to visit.
Yeah, if you ever go to the Oregon coast, definitely go visit Rogue.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people will either start in the distillation business by if they want to distill whiskey eventually, what they'll do is they'll distill vodka and rum and things like that.
Because it's something cheap and quick.
It's something cheap that you can age in 3 months and then send it out.
Yeah.
And you can start getting a revenue source coming in immediately. They'll at the same time be mashing up whiskeys and starting to age those. And then 4 years later they can start selling young whiskey, and then 7 years later they can start selling fully mature whiskey. A lot of other companies will say, well, here's the flavor profile we're going for. I want MGP to send me a barrel of this and a barrel of that, and we'll mix them together into the flavor profile we're aiming for. And then in 4 years, when we're able to produce it ourselves, that's what we can do. There's a couple different ways to get started up in a market like that. I think it could be fun. And again, a way to diversify my income, which... Going self-employed, I'm really, really worried about needing to do.
Yes, no.
I will not live and die by YouTube.
Yeah. No, you have to... Most people diversify their revenue stream anyway.
Yeah. So, but it has been a very good, I'll call it a 1 year because really my channel took off around January. January 1st of last year, I had 1,200 subscribers.
About the time I started coming on the channel. I don't
no, you were on in October. You were on in October 17th.
Whatever.
But literally January 1st, 2018, I had about 1,275 subscribers.
Yeah.
I could count the views as they come in. 1, 2, 3. And I started reading every comment back then because like I'd get like 4 a day, so big deal.
Now you can't keep up.
Now, I keep up, but I have to limit it to I spend about 40 minutes every day just reading comments. That's all I do for about 40 minutes of my day.
There's going to be a point where you can't do that anymore.
When I take a lunch break at work, I spend my lunch break reading and replying to comments. Because it's interaction, because it gets people thinking. Or if they have an argument for me, I'll pose a counter argument. Or I'll say, hey, great point. I didn't think about that. And again, the purpose of my videos is to get people to come to their own conclusions. I'll give you my recommendation, but I want to give very objective information so you can draw your own conclusion.
Yeah.
Oh, he came to this conclusion, but he also said this, and I don't like that, so I'm going to say no. That's totally your decision. I got a lot of feedback on the 10 gig network switch that some people loved it and some people hated it.
Yeah.
And that's totally cool. That means I did my job right. Where I've reviewed it objectively and said, I'm going to be using this, but what do you guys think? And you'll notice I end a lot of videos that way. And it's because I want to know what you guys think about it. So, yeah, I will be in the game for quite a long time. I'm going to read every comment as long as I possibly can. Right now, I spend every lunch break reading comments. So I'll go get some teriyaki or some tacos or whatever else, and I'll sit down and I'll just thumb through my phone and read comments.
You're just making me hungry for tacos now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I had some great food truck teriyaki.
Food truck tacos?
Food truck teriyaki.
Teriyaki.
Yeah, we have a food truck teriyaki place around the corner from my work.
Oh, yeah.
They were pretty darn good.
That's what I miss. Because where I used to work, there was a really good teriyaki place nearby. Yeah. And I don't work there anymore. Well, I mean, the office is gone, but I work at home.
They opened a really good teriyaki place about 3 blocks from my work recently, and then a couple of months ago, a food truck moved in that's doing teriyaki as well. They're about 2 blocks away.
Oh, that can't beat a good yakisoba, man.
Yeah. Oh, God.
God dang.
Yep. I had a makishita today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was delicious. $150 a good price for a GTX 980. I'm gonna say
it's not a 980 Ti.
It's not a Ti. You're on
I would offer a little bit less.
You're close, but with the news that we're hearing as far as what's coming out and the power level that's coming out, if Navi releases and they release in February with marketable cards,
with those prices,
and an RX 3060 comes out for about $130, that's going to best a 980. Yeah, quite honestly.
Yeah.
In fact, that would be an interesting video comparison: is an RX 3060 versus a GTX 980.
980, yeah.
So,
I mean, that's.
I think it's worth it at 150.
It's still, I mean, it's still a good card, but I would be because right on the cusp. I mean, we're always right on the cusp.
Yeah,
price drop.
I rarely tell people to wait because I want to buy it now, and I get
that. No, I get that. I get that wanting to do that.
But maybe.
It depends.
I'd say offer him 1 1/4, maybe settle at 135.
If it's eBay and you don't have any room to negotiate, probably not. But
if it's in person, offer him 1 1/4.
Yeah, see if they'll take it. If it's like Craigslist, then see if they'll take it.
And I know I'm splitting hairs. What's the difference with $20? But
I think you could probably go just a little bit lower.
Yeah. Yep. It's close. Yep. All right, guys. I think that's a show. I think it was a rather good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a little bit over.
Yeah. It's all right.
We try to put the kibosh at about
2 hours.
I
said, well, it's 10:02. Wait. I have one more thing to talk about. There's 20 minutes. We tried.
I'm out of beer anyway. Whoa.
Yep.
Stuck.
The one problem with the glass coasters.
They stick. I know. I have marble coasters at my house, and they do the same thing.
Yeah. I've been wanting to get some synthetic cork coasters, something that won't absorb.
Yeah, they won't stick.
But I want something that's stylized. These are just whatever the local casino was giving out when I signed up for their membership.
Well, I have these coasters that are kind of like this. They're glass.
Yeah.
But they have a little sleeve on the back, so you can print out pictures and put whatever you want.
Oh, nice.
in there. And so I just put stupid memes in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Drunk baby.
yeah, drunk. Yeah. Put those in there. I think I put like the piano cat in there or something. It was stupid.
Yep. How do you get the Discord? Sign up for my Patreon. There's a link down in the video description. I do require a buy-in to join my Discord, but it's $1 a month.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
So basically what I'm asking you to do is take ownership of what you're going to be saying on there.
Yeah.
And because you have a little bit of ownership, even if it's only $1, you feel the need to be respectful with everyone.
Yeah.
And so far, it works quite well, and everyone's very, very awesome on there.
I don't think we have anybody who's like... I mean, we do have a shit posting area, kind of.
We have a shit posting to drop your shit posts.
Yes, if you want to do that.
Yeah. But there's a lot of different communities forming on there. There's a lot of good interaction, and really a really cool community in general that's forming over there.
I really like
it. A lot of beer trades that have taken place between just patron members, just random people going, hey, I have this. Hey, I'll send you this. Cool. And then John and Steve have organized some beer trades as well to get beers from different parts of the country. So very cool community. $1 a month. Yep. And what the $1 a month does is it helps keep everything clean.
Yeah. Just
it means I don't have to sit in there and moderate and take care of all the trolling middle schoolers and everything else.
Yeah.
It makes everyone feel responsible for the community. So.
Yeah.
Really good place. And honestly, I'm not afraid to take your $1 and just ban you if you're a dick. So, yeah, the one rule I have on there is don't be a dick. So,
Pi 3 stream. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Pi 3 stream machine. Good idea.
It'll
probably happen. That's been episode 60, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Join the Patreon. Get on the Discord. And as always, we'll see you next week.
Next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.